What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? What's going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? This is Thrifty. We are back with another episode of the Gaming Den podcast. That's right, this is episode 16, and my goodness, I will not gild the lily at all. We have a lot of crap to cover tonight. One of the articles y'all will not get to see. If y'all go to the Discord, y'all can click on it. But because PlayStation Lifestyle now insists on having ads, so I can view their content, or I have to pay them $2.20 a month, they can get bent and wrecked and all of those things at the exact same time. So if you look at it in the Discord, you can see the article we'll be using, but it is over the one of the main topics tonight, which is the Pssr. What's going on with it? Why can't games seems to get it right? Is it just easier for devs to just start skipping it? Like, we're going to talk about that. The other things that we're going to talk about are right here. No, not right here. Are right here. There we go. I hope you like Marvel, and I hope you like Insomniac, and I hope you like both of them together, because it looks like we're going to get them for a long, long time. So we're going to be discussing that. Also, one of my favorite topics for the night. Oh my god, I could do a whole hour-long video over why this is the most exciting thing that could have happened for me. They freaking found a way for me to give a dang about premium again, and that sucks. I haven't subscribed to it yet, but like, they have found a way to at least make me okay with opening my wallet. Cloud streaming officially arrives on PlayStation Portal today with new support. And so I am... Uh... Hero, I'm reading your stuff while trying to do the intro. It's quite comical. I am excited about the Portal. It's going to be great. The next thing, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 boss. Yeah, he has some words for Outer Worlds 2, and he says the quiet part out loud, so that's pretty interesting. And then the final thing that we're going to be talking about tonight is Japan Patent Office rejects Nintendo's patent for its Pokemon capture mechanic. Oh my goodness, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. I am so excited. I can't wait. But y'all did not come here for me. I know this. Everybody knows that. This is like the Conan O'Brien show. It's gonna be awful, but the guests are usually really good. So, with that being said, I do have some really good guests tonight. One of them is running a teensy wet behind schedule, and the other one, though, is Morghan. Morghan, how are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, Thrifty, as always. How are you?
I am good. What is So, what game are you playing right now?
Oh, I'm in between a couple of them right now, but I think my favorite that I'm playing right now is Dispatch. Like, it's fantastic.
Okay.
It's
I
been
should have
like the
known.
talk of the timeline. Yeah.
Hey, you're botting
Like,
pretty bad. Is that on my end or
Oh,
yours?
I'm botting?
Yeah, mine shows full
Not sure.
stable. I wonder if it was my headset. Guys in the chat, let me know if y'all heard that botting. If not, we'll continue right on. So, I should have known. You are absolutely the visual novel like queen. So,
Yes.
what is it all that and the bag of chips?
Yes. It's honestly fantastic. Like, it is exactly what, I and a lot of Telltale fans have been wanting from the Telltale devs for so long, right? Because anybody who knows, the Telltale studio, got shut down because of lack of funding and profits and things like that. But then it got resurrected again. But it's been on hiatus ever since the resurrection. They were supposed to be working on The Wolf Among Us 2. They announced that back in like 2022,
That was like
and
their
then we
big
haven't
claim
heard
to
anything
fame,
since.
wasn't it? That was like
Yeah.
their big like.
I
Hey,
love The Wolf Among Us. So
okay.
I was like so ecstatic when they were like the sequels coming. I was like, yes, let's go. Like, because the first one ended on a cliffhanger, right? So I was like, okay, we need the continuation of the story. And so they were like, hey, we're working on the sequel. I said, great, let's go. But we still haven't heard anything since. So now we have, this new studio, Ad Hoc, who is a studio comprised of like former Telltale developers and former I think it's like, what is it called, Night City or Nighthawk Studio, the people who made that Netflix game that I also like, the indie game. I can't think of it right now, but and then it also has some Ubisoft, ex-Ubisoft developers on
Yes.
there. So they all came together and they made this game, and I cannot recommend it enough. Like, it is absolutely fantastic. Episodes, what was it, 5 and 6 drop tonight. So they drop 2 episodes every week. To next week is the last week, so it'll be 8 episodes in total, and they have all been fantastic. Like, I haven't got a chance to finish this week's episodes. I've just started 5, so yeah, but they have been nothing less than immaculate. The writing, the cast, the story, like it's great. Like, and you'll see that from anybody who's played it. Everybody who's played it absolutely loves it. I was a little wary about it because a lot of the cast comprises of content creators and streamers, and that can go one of two ways, right? Like, it could be great or it could be absolutely tragic, right? Them doing voiceover, you're like, can I really separate the content creator, and like not think about them but think about the character? But
Yeah.
they've all done phenomenal. Like, I'm actually surprised how good they are at voice acting. Like, it's been great. It's just I think this game deserves to be up there for game of the year. Like, it's just that good for me.
Wait,
shout out
really?
to Ad Hoc Studio. Yeah, bro, it's fantastic.
Okay, so wait a second. Okay, hang on. First of all, the chat is y'all are already talking a bunch over here. Hero, Josh, Nelson, Voyager 80, Afraid Voyager 88, Dizzy Delta 99, Henry Heck. Hey, y'all just the game that you were thinking of was called Night Dive.
Yes.
That was the Netflix
Yes.
game. Henry said, shout out to Young Yeah. That's funny that he's in the game. That's cool. Okay.
He's actually not in the game, but I think he's thinking of like a content creator that people kind of have an iffy feeling about whenever they hear him voice act, because he does kind of but yeah, he's not in this game though.
Okay. What's up, Lunchy? How are you, dude? Hey, I'm using one of the articles you sent me for the show tonight. So, hey, thanks for that. Okay, so you mentioned Game of the Year, and I wasn't even going to bring it up because we have 2 more weeks until the show. So I was going to save it. Next week would be the Game of the Year show, do that shit, song and dance and all that. But since you brought it up,
oh man.
Yeah. All right. So, truth be told, I was listening to Brap earlier, and this is how he led his show as well, was with the Game of the Year talk. And he had brought up that people are talking about Arc Raiders possibly getting Game of the Year.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But it's going up against people like you who are like, no, it's freaking Dispatch. Are you kidding me? It should at least be on the table. Like, it has to be there somewhere. Like, does it stand a chance, though, against things like Expedition 33?
I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, one, I haven't played it, so I can't really comment on how good it is. But this is a year that I think is way too stacked.
No, I
right
meant
now
Dispatch.
Oh, Dispatch. Oh, okay. I thought you meant Arc Raiders. Okay.
No. Dispatch.
Dispatch. While I think it deserves to be up there, I don't think it'll get up there. No.
Okay.
I just think like this year's just too many games. Like, unless Jeff Keighley decides to open the floodgates and increase the amount of nominations this year, which I don't think he's doing. It's just going to be 6. So there's just too many games.
The real question is are we going to get a DLC? That's the real question. Is there going to be a DLC on the podium for Game of the Year? That's the real question.
My God, please. Oh, no. I think it was last year, right? So I think 2024 was kind of slow. So I think that's why they kind of allowed Erd Ring or whatever the hell it was called to be up there. But 2025, hell no. It's way too many games to even consider a DLC.
Josh just said, what about DS2? Yeah, there's another one.
That's what I'm saying. Death Stranding 2. And it's gonna be up there, man. Like, Jeff's gonna make sure his boy
up there. He gonna make sure his boy Kojima is right there front and center.
He's gonna make sure that, man. But at least I do think it deserves to be nominated. Death Stranding 2 was a great game.
Yeah, like, here's the deal. I didn't play it. I can't say it was a great game, but a lot of people who I trust say it was a great game, and I believe him.
Yeah, it was great.
It's
Kojima,
like if somebody
he
looks at
Kojima'd
me.
all over that damn game.
What was that from Sister Act 2, where she's teaching sex ed, and the kids look at her and go, "What do you know about sex? You're a nun." And she goes, "Well, you don't got to bite the donut to know it's sweet." Like, exactly that.
Yeah, there
You
you
don't
go.
always have to participate in whatever. Like, I
Hmm.
don't have to watch baseball or basketball to know who the best team is, right? There's ways you can
Exactly.
figure that
Yeah.
shit out. Like,
Hmm.
and so it's just, anyways, that conversation has always bothered me. Like, oh, you have to play the whole game before you have an opinion. Yes, but I get what you're. Yeah, sure. Uh, anyways, so Death Stranding 2 is going to be up there. Expedition 33 is going to be up
Hmm.
there. Ghost of Yotai is going to be up
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah.
Geez. Oh, here's Hero. Perfect, Hero. Here we go. DS2, Expedition 33, Donkey Kong, KCD2, Ghost of Yotai, and Arc Raiders. That sounds like a list made on the Otter Player podcast if I've ever seen one. That's just.
Oh shoot! But you gotta remember like the other games. Are Split Fiction. There's
Oh
Hades
shit.
2. There's that other
Silk Song.
Silk Song. Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh
called.
my
Silk Song.
god.
Like that's what I'm saying. This year's this is too stacked. There's no more room. Like we already have like over 6 games that are gonna be fighting it out to be nominated. And then like I said, the year isn't over, so it's just like it's insane. Like I don't really know. It's gonna like whoever the 6 are that end up being nominated for this year's Game of the Year awards. It's gonna be a crazy conversation. This is going to be one of those years where nobody's going to be happy because
No.
somebody is going to be disappointed that the game that they love is not up there. There's going to be some kind of debate, some kind of argument. Oh man, it's rigged. It's this, it's that. You know, that whole. It's going to be even worse this year. I'm honestly excited about it because for one, I don't personally care if a game that I like is up there. Like, you know, I've had many a game of the year that have not been on the nominee list. And I just find it, you know, fun just to kind of look and see who's up there and who wins and things
Sure.
like that. But some
It's
people
okay to
take
have
this
fun.
shit seriously. Like it's personal. Like,
And oh
and
my
I
gosh.
can't wait to see the arguments. To be honest, I mean, it'll be fun for me.
There are those people, like, if you say something, they're like, you must now defend your choice with your life. Like, no, my guy, it's not.
Like
It's
we're gonna you're gonna see it the day the nominees come out. There's gonna be entire Twitter dissertations about why this is rigged, what's wrong with the gaming industry. This is all the certifications of why my game should have been nominated. There's no way this other game could have been nominated. It's this. Like it's going to be back and forth arguments. It's gonna be spaces all day long talking about it. Like
oh shit.
it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be
Josh
funny.
just said Night Rain. He also said Sword of the Sea, and then him and Hero went back and
But
forth
it's a
on
great one
that.
too.
And he was like, in a normal year, Sword of the Sea might stand a chance, but not this year.
So I'm
Not-
saying it's the year where it's like the top of the top. It's like you thought you were good, you were probably good for 2024, but this is 2025, and there's like all MVPs this year.
This is what. So I don't remember who it was. I think it was Bale Dante in the Discord the other day said he was like, I had made mention of playing Arc Raiders because I tried it out last night, and he made mention. He goes, so Arc Raiders and Battlefield 6 are owning the sticks, or owning the. What the hell did he say? He said something like Battlefield's with a month where we get Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders, and Ghost of Yotai. This year gaming or something like that has never been better. People who say that there's nothing to game on need to start thinking maybe gaming isn't for you. It's essentially
I agree.
It's essentially that. Like, listen,
There's something for everyone right now.
literally, like, it's not. I was going over the list last week of the games coming out in like January of 2026, and they're all except a sports title. There's a first person shooter, there's a third person shooter, there's an action adventure, there's a looter, there's a indie game, there's a side scroller, it's just everything. And there's a JRPG.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
speaking of that, Edge of Memories, have you been brought up to date on this game?
I have not.
Oh, you like JRPGs?
Yes, I do. You know, my guru, Enate, you know, he tries to lead me down the path of JRPG. So I usually lean on him to tell me what I would like to play. Since I'm pretty new to JRPGs, I don't know where to start. There's so many different types. So he's usually like, I think you'll like this one, Morgan. So I usually like lean on him to, recommend me something that I personally like. But
so I don't know if you
what's this game?
Okay, I got to bring attention to it. The trailer on the
Okay.
16 million subscriber PlayStation YouTube channel only has 54,000. And it only has 54,000. So we got to bring some attention to it. So I got to get it some more views.
Okay.
This is a studio that started out. It's Midgar Studios. Okay. Midgar, not in reference to Norse mythology, but in reference to Final Fantasy VII. I make that distinction because it wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibility with all the Viking games and everything to have a Midgard studio that is like, hey, we are talking about Midgar and Norse mythology and blah blah blah. No. We are talking about Final Fantasy VII. Their first game was called Edge of Eternities. It was good-ish. It was very rough. Didn't have a lot of polish to it. I own the game and it's in the backlog. This game, on the other hand, oh my god. I know it's Midgard, but I also have a southern accent, so sometimes Midgar and Midgard they sound the same. Rewind it back and see which one that I said and take your pick on which one was which. I don't talk good, all right? So so this studio has had my attention because their first game, Edge of Eternities, was done as nothing more than a love letter to Final Fantasy. And so and in this one they have the they have the music director, or no, one of the composers or musicians for Chrono Trigger, Xenoblades, and they have one of the combat designers for Final Fantasy 15. So they have the pedigree. Anyways, everybody watch your screen. I am beyond excited for this game. Let me turn this off.
Oh.
The Archelites. They released the corrosion upon the planet. A ravening blight that would slowly turn everything it touched into nightmarish caricatures of themselves. We eventually won the war, but the corrosion remained. No one prays for salvation. They only yearn for a swift, painless death. But this time, the gods are silent. Only mankind remains. What did you do to me?
Nothing that you couldn't do before.
Look at you. A child playing at greater things.
A black beast. So that's who I am now.
This is the corrosion's only known law. To gather and grow. To unite its corruption into one putrid mass and create the biggest, baddest, and ugliest of monsters. What price would be acceptable to pay in order to rid the world of the corrosion?
Henry, you can't be saying stuff like that.
Well, the combat looks good.
Henry said, "Why the beast gotta be black?"
Well, she turned into a black beast, man. Listen, she got corrupted.
Oh, Lord help. Henry, if I would have been drinking something, I'd have spit that out. That's funny. Okay, so it looks gorgeous. I feel like the game is somewhere between the graphical presentation of Tales of Arise and Ys 9. It feels like in that range, which is perfect. Okay. Anyways, so it's active combat. I am so freaking excited about this. I'm so excited. Anyways,
did y'all have a release date?
No, we in 2026.
Oh, okay.
Here's the deal. In February of 2025, it got announced that it was supposed to be fall of 2025. So it shouldn't
That's usually how it goes.
Too much longer. it shouldn't be too much longer. It kind of looked PS2-ish. Josh, I'll mute you. I'll just mute you. That's no, I'm kidding. I wouldn't mute you. I don't think I can mute a mod, anyways. All right. So, Enate, you are here. How are you, sir?
Good.
Oh, what?
I said, what's going on, man? I'm good.
Oh.
Did it cut out or something?
Yeah, you did. I heard
Yeah, you did.
And I was like, all right,
Gotcha.
well, okay. You can kick him out as a mod. No, I wouldn't do that. All right, so Enate, we have talked a little bit about what games Morgan was playing, and she said Dispatch, and then we got onto a Game of the Year conversation. So we will afford you the same opportunity. What have you been playing right now?
Yeah, also Dispatch. I mean, it's a ridiculously phenomenal game. I mean, they knocked it out of the park, and that's saying a lot from somebody like me, because a lot of people keep saying it's like a Telltale game because honestly, people don't have anything else to compare it to. But honestly, I don't even think it's like those games. I think it's different, and it's hard to explain because honestly, one of the biggest things I dislike about Telltale games is they got too comfortable with making everything a bad decision. So there were like not that this one has like a great decision, you know what I mean? But it's not like cut off your arm or lose a leg. Like that was like every decision in Telltale games. And like I was like, okay, this is just gonna get old for me because like I feel like there's no variety in
Did
the
you say
choice.
cut off your arm or lose a leg?
Yeah, like literally. That was
Yeah,
like,
that was definitely like Walking Dead Telltale game. Like,
yeah.
would you like to lose an arm or would you like to lose a leg? Like, what? I don't want to lose either. Like,
Can I
Yeah.
keep my appendages, please? Go ahead.
Yeah, can I dodge, please, or something? Like, they just never give you a good option ever. And but this game, you know, and like I said, every choice in here isn't necessarily a good one, but they're not necessarily a bad choice either. So that's why I kind of like it. They feel more realistic in the choices they give you. Feels like you actually have some agency and some control over the actual choices that are going on. I mean, it's amazing. And people are flipping out over episode 5 and 6 right now. I haven't touched it yet. But people are just going crazy. And I know like the general premise for 5 and 6. So I kind of get what's going on and like how they're going to set things up. But honestly, man, I wish they weren't working on whatever the hell they're working on next. Because what they need to be working on is season 2, 3, 4, and 5
Of Dispatch.
this game.
yes.
Yeah, that's what they need to be doing.
Unfortunately, they said they were working on like Dungeons and Dragons next, and I'm just like, it's not what the people want, man. Come on, man. You can't make a great game and then just be like, okay, we're gonna put that to the side now and work on something completely different.
This is
now.
when you just got to pivot and be like, hey guys, you know what? We're sorry. We
Like,
thought
pretty much.
we thought y'all liked D&D. So let me ask you a question though, because something about this setup irritates the fire out of me. And I'm just going to be honest. This is one of the reasons why I haven't bought Dispatch yet.
Okay.
At what point are you just walking yourself through a TV show? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
So I don't think you are, and a big part of that is the dispatch aspect of it.
Okay.
So like the dispatch portion of it is you are making those choices. You are making critical, like it is, for lack of a better term, it is a critical role.
I get why that's funny given the last conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, like this is another aspect that was never really in the Telltale games that is specific to this game, right? Like the dispatcher position is important. There's also hacking attempts and other things that you have to do that are not, again, other player-esque things that you are doing. As well as there's even more stuff going on. I have the QTE events turned off just because I know I'd get caught slipping. I'm the person who likes to put the controller down when I'm looking at something, so I know I'll get caught slipping. But yeah, so there's plenty of active elements within the game. And then even when you're making a choice, like it's not like you got all day to just figure it out and you're picking, you know, between A, B, or C, and that's just it. Like there's something going on within that that's going to have an immediate consequence, or you know, something really critical to the story or what's going on. So
Okay.
it's hard to really
And let's be
grasp,
honest,
but
I did like, I have played games like Heavy Rain. I've played games like
yeah,
Man of Medan. I've played Coffee Talk recently. Like, I like those. I think it's more the episodic release that just
yeah.
kind of drives it home. That like, oh,
I know, and
uh,
they stated at one point it was probably going to be a TV show, but I'm actually glad they didn't, because you wouldn't get these choices
almost. Well, what if it
if
was like
they
a Black
just did
Phone?
that.
What if it was like a, or was it Black Phone or Black Mirror or?
Yeah, it was Black Mirror that did the interactive
Yeah, like
thing for
Netflix has
Netflix.
had interactive shows before.
But you know what sucks is they never go anywhere. Like because
That's,
like
well,
it's
Black
just
Mirror did get a
it's not
sequel,
that.
but that's whatever.
No, Black Mirror is great, but it's not really a choice. Like they only did that for like an episode. Um
Oh, okay.
yeah, Black Mirror is largely just a TV show.
Gotcha. I
But
thought the
yeah,
whole
like
thing was interactive. Okay.
No, it's
no,
that one
no.
particular. It had like a special episode that was interactive, but
Oh.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not even on Netflix. The greatest thing is that's not even on Netflix anymore. Like they removed it. And so it's like you can't even if you wanted to go back and play that episode, you can't. Like they removed it. But like I think what Nate's saying about that, what separates this from other Telltales is the, like you said, the dispatch portion of it. Like there's a mini game within the game where you are obviously a dispatcher, which is you're in charge of these heroes, and you have to send out the heroes on on the missions that are called out, and you have to make sure you send heroes with the right skills. Like if you need a hero that's maybe smart or strong or fast or has high defense or is heavy attack, you have to send the right hero out for the right mission. And at the once you send the hero out and they complete the mission is graded based on how well you match the hero to the mission. And if it was a success, then yeah, you completed the mission. But if it wasn't, then you failed. Right. And at the end of the day, you get a grade on how well you completed all the missions, right? If you succeeded in most of them, or you failed, or if you skipped out on, because you can miss calls too, because there's a certain time limit to answer the calls from people. It's like essentially like you're like a 911 dispatcher. You get a call, you have to send the right hero out, and you're graded on how well you do it. So there's like this interactive part in the game, and I think that's one of my favorite parts of the game, is being the actual dispatcher.
So is it
It's
more?
fun.
Sorry, is it more
Oh, you're
interactive
good.
than? Um, I know y'all played these, than like a Heavy Rain or a Man of Medan or a.
Yeah,
Okay, so it is more there is a video game aspect to
there's a
it
video
then.
game aspect.
Okay,
Yeah,
because Heavy
yeah.
Rain, the most you had in that was like both analog sticks pushed
QTEs.
forward to jump over stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know what I
It
mean?
was the
Like,
QTEs essentially. Yeah,
and the
yeah,
same thing with Man of Medan. It was very much QTE driven,
yeah,
and so
yeah.
Yeah, so there are QTEs in this if you want to keep them turned on. But there's also, like I said, there's also the hacking mini game, then there's also the dispatching portion and all that stuff. But one of the big things to keep in mind with this is this is a top tier level of writing and cast acting on top of that. Like it's hard to understand. Remember I wrote that big article not too long ago that I wrote on my page about my disappointment in the level of acceptable writing in gaming
yes,
not too long ago.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is what I mean when I talk about good writing. This is what I mean. It's
Yeah,
that
like
good.
it's fantastic. The writing in this game, the story, like it's got me on the hook. Like I've been fiending for these two episodes that just dropped today. Like every week I'm like scratching, like I need more, I need more, which is why I'm so upset that they're not working on like a season 2 for this, because I'm just like, damn, it's too good to just stop with one game. But yeah,
So-
it is what it is, I guess.
And I know that this isn't on the topic for tonight, and it wasn't gonna be, because I've talked about them for 2 weeks now. But when Xbox comes out and says TikTok is our competitor in the gaming space, even the sentiment behind that bothers me. Because the truth is that we have 10 times the amount, I don't know if this is the exact number, but we have at least 10 times the amount of games that we used to. Maybe 5. Let's say 5. We have 5 times the amount of games that we used to. We have people branching out
10
to
was
different...
pretty accurate.
That's what it feels like. It feels
Yeah,
like
10 was pretty accurate.
I used to look and go, I get one game every couple months. It's like a guaranteed. Now I'm like, I need to figure out how to stay thrifty and also get some of these games in my life. Like, I don't know what truck I gotta go find. I don't know what has to happen, who I have to talk to, but like it's getting bad. And so when we have all these games, these shorter games, right? These narrative novels, these beautiful stories, these wonderful little indies like a Balatro or a Blueprints, or there was one called Keeper that came out that people said was great. Like, you have all of these indies, and you have all of these Eastern RPGs that are coming out, that are coming over here, getting remade, re-released. Those are 60, 70, 80-hour games. You have PlayStation's tentpole titles that are 50 to 70 to 80-hour games. If you're me, 86. But, like, there are so many things that are good, with good writing, made by people who care, that the stuff that they're putting out doesn't compete with. Do y'all agree with that or disagree?
That the stuff that
Yeah.
you talking about, the stuff that
Xbox
third
is
party
putting
puts out?
No, that
Oh,
Xbox puts out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll give it to Xbox for the quantity of games that they have released.
Quantity,
you know,
sure.
they're a big publisher. They've released like what 10, 15 games this year. I think that's awesome. That's great. But for me, the only game that I've been interested in that they've released this year were South of Midnight, which I 100%ed, and then I'm gonna play Keeper, and you know that's literally it. Like, I don't care about any other game they got, you know. So it's like I think Xbox right now, yeah, they, like I said, they had a great year quantity wise, but as far as quality, they've all just been like, at least to me, like, I'm not gonna say they were mid, but they were just all just they were good enough, like they were okay, you know. but they haven't released anything that's been like that generational game yet, that thing that has everybody talking, that game that's just stays within people's, you know, perception of gaming. Like, they just haven't released that game yet, and I don't know if they ever will. But yeah, it's just, like you said with the whole TikTok thing, like I see, you know, why the focus is on that now. They say PlayStation isn't the competitor for anymore, and it's like, well, PlayStation hasn't been a competitor, you know, or hasn't seen you as competition for years.
For a hot minute.
It's, you know, and it's like, you can tell they're not even competing, because it's like, y'all not even trying to deliver like these high quality blockbusters anymore. And then you remember Phil back in like 2022 was saying, you know, we could release Starfield could be like an 11 out of 10 and people still won't flock to Xbox. And I'm like, okay, but that's like a cop out, because you feel like that Xbox will be hated regardless of the quality of the games. But I'm like, no, if you make a amazing high quality game, people will come. Like, that's always been the truth about gaming. No matter what platform it's on, exclusive or not, you make a fantastic game, the people will flock to it. So I don't really, you know, co-sign what he says, but I think that's like kind of the sentiment of how Xbox feels right now. They're just like, you know, there's no really point of us releasing a top tier talked about game, because we just want to be a publisher that just kind of pushes out good enough games and gets people to, you know, buy them and, you know, subscribe to Game Pass. That's really all they care about right now.
And the biggest thing that I take away from that was when you not looked at me, but when you said to me, you were like, they were all okay. Like, that right there that makes my wallet go sit and hide under the bed. Like, that doesn't make it go, all right, give me. I need this in my life right now. Enate, what do you think, man? Is the sentiment is, you know, the sentiment is the TikTok is their competition because kids only like short form content and the world is more moving to short form content. But we just talked about games that are anywhere between 7 to 12 to 15 to 120 hours long that have all come out relatively recently, and none of the ones that we mentioned, in a positive light at least, in an extremely positive light, were from Xbox. So while we're just taking this little rabbit trail, what do you think on this, man?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, I'm in the same camp. Like, I mean, it's a quantity thing. I think they've released a significant quantity of games. Um, I do think the majority, and that's really what Morgan was really saying, is that the majority of what they released was just okay. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is like people freak out about like okay or it was good, like, but we're talking about, like I said, them needing to release something that is, in the zeitgeist, something that people can't stop talking about. The way people are talking about Dispatch, the way people are talking about, Ghost of Yote when it launched is all over my timeline. I couldn't escape it, whether I was playing it or not. It was all over the place. People just in awe, you know what I mean? And then it's like, again, like, I mean, I see, people would just hate on it because the Xbox logo. That's not the case either. Like, I know people, the issues I've seen people have with Ninja Gaiden 4 were genuine. Like, you're talking about people who literally have no dog in that fight.
They just want
Now,
Ninja Gaiden. That's it.
Yeah. Now, whether or not you personally care about the critique that they made, that's up to you. I know some people that were playing it that I'm in a group chat with, and they were loving it. Two people in particular, losing their absolute mind playing Ninja Gaiden 4. And I was like, that's cool. I've personally never been a big Ninja Gaiden fan, so I just let them live. And I was like, cool, I'm glad you loved it, and they rocked out. It's on one of their Game of the Year, nominees, their short list of 6. If for them personally. So no, everybody's not just getting on it just because, but they can still admit the key though is that people, regardless of them liking it, they could still admit faults and stuff in certain areas, things that could have been better. Like, people got to stop like coming at things like, when a critique happens, it doesn't mean the game isn't good. But if all the rest of the game is good, so everybody expected the gameplay to be good in Ninja Gaiden, right? The combat, right? The character action combat. That team accelerates at that, right? So if they're already good at that, what else can you give me? So when you give me this thing that stands out so much, then, the story is extremely the opposite end of that. Then again, whether or not you care, like, nobody expected, Final Fantasy X as a story, in this game. But when it's so far, so far and away from the quality that the combat is, well, people noticed it. Gene Park brought it up. I've seen a couple other reviewers bring up that, they weren't really feeling the story. And it's like, again, none of these people hated the game. They liked the game well enough. Some of them even still claim to love it. They just wanted to be like, dang, like, man, if this also had a solid story, like, dang, this could really be in that conversation. And that's what we're saying. Like, you've got shortcomings on to an extreme degree on a lot of these games, even when they're good, right? So probably the two highest games that they released this year is Ninja Gaiden 4, and from what I'm hearing, The Outer Worlds 2, right? And neither one of those games, if we're honest, are going to be in the Game of the Year nominee conversation. This year has been crazy high quality. Like, some of these games have been generational. I've heard several games that people have played that they have stated, and I'm talking about OG motherfuckers. I'm talking about, top tier people, right? That have been playing games for longer than me, and they have gone and stated when they've completed certain games, like, this is one of, if not the greatest game I've ever played in my life. I heard that from multiple people who are completely unrelated. Like, that's crazy. Like, this is the
Different
first time I've
games,
heard
too?
that in this year. In this case, the two people I'm talking about, or the three or four people I'm talking about, we're talking about the same game.
Okay.
But
That's what I
but
was like, is there a game outside of Expedition 33 that people are talking about in this way? Is there?
nah. It was definitely Expedition. Obviously, people were hype about a lot of other games, and certain games people did love, but I still seen like a divisive nature of some titles, right? Like Hades 2 came out again to absolute ridiculous critical acclaim, right? But I also did see some people who were fans of Hades 1 that didn't like it as much, or Silk Song came out and like people were like, all right, cool, and it was hot for like a week and a half, and then it's no longer on my timeline. Again, not that it's not bad. Again, crazy critical acclaim, top end game. But that's what I'm saying. Like when the quality of a lot of these titles is so far and away and so high, of course your game's gonna come out, average or what have you, right? Now, look, I'll tell, because Raichi's is always in the comments in another show that I frequent that's more Xbox centric. And I always tell them straight up, I was like, look, if Xbox knocks it out the park tomorrow, I will give them all the praise they deserve when I actually feel that way. But I'm not going to give it for no reason. And like I said, I haven't played everything they released. Like I did like the Outer Worlds 1, and I have the Outer Worlds 2. We bought it on Steam. So not on Game Pass, actually bought it, so we supported them.
You shut your filthy mouth.
I know, right? But like, and when Forza Horizon 5 came out, guess where I was? Day one, $100 edition. So
Well,
while somebody might be doing that, I loved that game. But I'm not just talking about it, and that's a big problem with a lot of the mouthpieces in that particular community. Not the people on the other show that he frequents, because they actually play games, but a lot of the mouthpieces and influencers and so on and so forth. Everything Xbox releases, they act like it's the greatest thing ever. So of course it seems weird when everybody else is kind of like, it was cool. Again, that's not even a slight. That's not even a slight. It was cool.
Okay,
like,
but
I'm not
wait
mad
a
I
second.
played it.
Man, I had to listen to you on Saturday.
Yeah.
Talk all say Yotai's a 9 out of 10, this and that, and then I had to listen to you sit there and berate the damn thing for like 10 minutes about this was bad, I didn't like this, I didn't like that.
I am critical of the things I love, bro.
Get him, Thrifty. Get him.
I'm
I'm trying to
saying
act
that,
professional on the show, so I ain't say nothing. But
I was in the comments losing my fucking mind. I was.
Get him.
I know you absolutely love it, and
Yeah, but
I've
there
heard
are
Will too. I've heard Will
issues.
too that he said literally it is better than Tsushima in every way possible, and it's not to me,
Except he doesn't
but
like her. He doesn't like the main character.
Oh, okay, that's what I know. He had one gripe at least.
That was the gripe, is that he just doesn't like the main character. Which to me, and so in the chat right now, Corey is talking about like the difference between gameplay and story. And I'll be honest, the thing that bumped Yotai so much for me was the story. I hop into that game and I'm like, oh, Ghost of Tsushima. Cool. I've been here. This is great.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I felt this before. I know how this is supposed to work. And from there, everything else felt fresh. Everything else felt good. And it wasn't until, and I'm not going to, by the way, guys, we are going to have a spoiler cast on this. I do it for the games I love. So, and I find other people who either loved the game or at least beat the game. And we will get them on, have some conversations. Morghan has already confirmed that she would love to do that. So yeah, this is not just me glazing it for this. I could sit and talk about this game for 3 or 4 hours, and I think that's exactly what I'm gonna fucking do. Like, I want to talk about it with other people. because there's so much stuff that happens with that story. There's so much stuff that anytime that you felt like it was getting even halfway, like, hey, it's been a little bit too long without another story beat, boom, you're at a shrine. Hey, all of a sudden there's a guy next to the shrine. Talk to the guy. The guy gives you a story mission. You go finish the story. You get more back. So I started the game, and I'm not going to give a lot away here, but I started the game with the flashback sequences, right? Just like everybody. Because of how I got the platinum, I ended with a story sequence of her childhood. It was one of the most beautiful fucking ways I could have ended that game. Because I waited until the very end to get a perfect score on that damn archery game. And oh my goodness. It was so good. Morgan, I actually messaged you at one point when I was towards the end and was like, holy shit, the campfire song. Like,
Yeah.
Like, literally, I was emotional from that point until the end. Like, we have a section in the Discord for spoilers, and one of the guys in there said something, and he was like, I couldn't get emotional because I had to go stab an asshole. I was like, you know what? I get that. That makes total sense. But oh my gosh, so good. So when I hear a 9 out of 10 from somebody like me or somebody like Morgan, that makes sense. I can look at the game and go, yeah, there was some clipping, there was some performance stuff that I don't think should have been there. I don't like that she clips into the damn side of the mountain on certain occasions. Her knees and feet disappear. It's real weird and awkward in certain spots. The way the water acted didn't like do that well in certain scenes, and other scenes it looked like perfect. Like there were some polished things that I wanted them to fix. But that's me being like hyper. I didn't have a problem with the story. I didn't have a problem with the gameplay. I didn't have a problem with the quest. I didn't have a problem with the collectibles.
So let me help you out here. So the one thing you got to take away from what I was listing, right? And that this is the part where there's a difference in how I was speaking. I was explaining the differences between Tsushima and Yote and what I like better in one than the other. And that's where I was saying. So that's why I said the game is a 9 out of 10. But what I was explaining was that I thought certain aspects that were a real highlight in the first one were either missing or I thought the first game did better. Like, for instance, I mentioned the stealth aspect. I felt like that was kind of more of a backseat thing in Yote compared to Jin, immediately running into that, and dealing with it the way that he did and all these other things, and that resonated with me more from a gameplay perspective, just because I just like his style better. But yeah, they both, what I was explaining when you heard me going through each part of it, that's more so the differences between the two, and then what I like that one did better than the other, where I also said, and I agree with you, that the story overall, like the overarching story and the world feeling more lived in, and just the whole way that world was crafted was amazing. Like there wasn't just like even when you were in more of the open areas, there's always something going on, there's always something happening, and they did a really good job making almost everything seem important, which was great. Sometimes I had to tell people dying on the side of the road that I don't care because I'm on a mission. So there was that too. Like I know Morgan is different that way. She was like, just take me where you want. And I was like, I was like that until I was about 40 hours in and hadn't killed another Yote 6. And I was like, you know what? Yellow Bird, if you don't get up out my face, bro, like I'm busy. Like, so, so yeah. So I loved it,
So
but
rude.
I was like,
Right?
sometimes
Like,
I had to be like, look, Yellow Bird, you got to go, bro.
it's giving me heart palpitations. He's just there to
Like,
help.
you don't know how many times like I was on the phone with him while we were both playing, and he was just getting so pissed off because the bird kept showing up. Oh my god, man! I'm just trying to do the mission. This stupid bird keeps following me. I'm like,
But-
follow the bird, and he's like, no, I don't want to follow the bird. I want to do this mission.
But it is part of the missions because when
saying, you gotta let
when
the
you
bird
follow
take
the
you.
bird and you get to a shrine, you get Atsu says a little something something, and you're like, oh, that's a little piece of the lore. That's a little piece of this. Like the hot springs, honestly, were phenomenal in this one. They were so good.
Yeah, I felt like the hot springs were really good in this one.
Oh, they were so. And then the paintings, the drawings you do. Oh,
Yeah.
the implementation of the DualSense in Ghost of Yotai is second only to Astrobot.
Yeah. Sucker Punch really likes to use the DualSense to its full capacity. I mean, they were the same way with Tsushima.
Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I understand, Nate, and I'm just busting your chops a little bit. Like that's mainly what it was because I didn't. I said let me in, and you didn't. So I knew the next time I had you.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh,
that.
I didn't say that either. I was like, oh, Nate, you see, he gatekeeping now. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Hey, Nate, she said you're gatekeeping.
You have like I leave the thing on because
I will
people
never
come
do
in
that on
before.
somebody else's show, except for now that you've said that's
I
cool.
will, I'll tell you right now. You could bust in like the Kool-Aid Man if you want.
I'm so
yeah.
respectful of other people's shit that I'm like, I don't want to impose. What if that? Well, also because I know it doesn't seem like it most nights, but I do have a structure to this, and I assume everybody else does too. And
we do, but we've also had like 6 topics and only talked about 2 before. So yeah, it shit happens.
Speaking of that,
yeah. Oh, speaking of that, exactly.
Yeah,
like now.
Speaking of that, let's So, anyways, guys, Ghost of Yotai, amazing fucking game. Go get it. You will have so much fun with it. The story, dear goodness. And one thing I'll say real quick on the stealth. Atsu is full of rage and anger and aggression and vitriolness and just this vile passion to kill these assholes. Why are you gonna do that quietly?
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, when my kids,
you're not wrong.
And if you play it the way the game like leans you to, which I know you didn't, I know you went over to the Kitsune first, which then you got the stealth mechanics early. I went Oni side first, and then dipped over and went Kitsune. By that point, though, she's had such character growth that she's calmed the fuck down a little bit. She's a little calmer. She's a little able to sit back and kind of remove herself from that anger and aggression, and now she can learn how to be stealthy, and it just all fucking fit. All right. Anyways, this is not the spoiler cast.
Her character development was A1. I will say that.
So fucking good. Speaking of development being A1, let's dive into my favorite topic for tonight. It is definitely the PS Portal, because I am a shill for it. I love this stupid thing, and they keep making it so much better. I don't remember. Do both of y'all have a Portal?
Yeah, I have 2.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And how often do
we have
y'all
the white
use
one and the white one and the 25th anniversary one. I mean, I use it plenty of times. It just depends on what I'm playing. Certain games I like to reserve exclusively for the big OLED. But I mean, there's been times where I will use it for a couple hours a week. So it really just depends on what I'm playing. Usually it happens when Fox is playing something and I'm talking to Morgan and Morgan is playing something, but then Fox wants to be in the conversation. So I put Morgan on speakerphone in the middle of the bed, and then I play a game, and then Fox plays a game, and then Morgan's playing a game. So yeah, in order for me to do that, my PlayStation is in the gaming room, so I have to use my Portal to then play the game. So I will often use my Portal for that, and having that wired connection is great, and you just get this really crystal clear image. Which, another thing that some people don't know, you heavily benefit from, of course, from you get a better image quality when you have it on the PS5 Pro, because the Pro's image quality in that nature translates to the Portal, so you're getting better performance in general. So yeah, I
Henry
use
and
it
I
all the time.
speculated on that, but we didn't know for sure if that was actually. This was a while back. Him and I are like the two biggest shills in the Discord for the PS Portal. We love the
Yeah,
stupid thing, and so because of that, like him and I always talk about it. It's when it happened, it was like, man, it feels like it looks better on the Portal when I'm playing from via the Pro.
yeah.
But Morgan, what about you? How often do you think you use yours?
Um, yeah, my gaming habits have definitely increased because of the portal.
Okay.
You know, I get, I'm sitting on the couch, I'm playing a PlayStation. I play late, right? I'm on that thing till like 4 or 5 in the morning sometimes. And then I'm like, sitting on the couch, now I'm tired, right? My eyes getting kind of low. And so I'm like, okay, let me turn the PlayStation off. But then I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to finish like a level or two. And so, and I get in my bed and the portal comes out, right? And so like I always use the portal for those extra hours of gaming, and especially since I'm a big indie gamer. It
Yep.
plays indies fantastic. Like I swear that thing is made for indies. um I love it, and this update is definitely awesome. I was like, oh shit, like they're coming out quick with the cloud, like not only just PS Plus games but a lot of your own digital library. I was like, that was quick. I didn't expect the update like that quick from PlayStation. So
So
I was happy for that.
we were just talking about this last week or the week before about how we thought it would be like the PS6 before you could start playing games natively. But somebody in the comments, I can't remember who it was, they were like, no, the next step is going to be playing your games via the cloud. And somebody else was like, no, you're not going to be able to do that because then it'll have to be able to play it via the cloud and it'll have to do licensing and all this. But they now, hey, lo and behold, they have found a way to make that work. So now if I purchase a game, so good example, if in February, Soros comes out at the end of February. If I purchase Soros, I can play Soros on my PlayStation, or if I have premium, I can then play it on my portal because I have cloud streaming on the portal for a game that I purchased and I own,
Hmm.
and I can play with my PlayStation being off. That
Yep.
has to be the best part of this. Not just that you can stream games you own anymore, but the PlayStation can be off. Listen to what it says here at the end of the article, because it's really interesting the way they word this, and I am super excited about it. Let me find it. Oh, there's some other stuff too while I'm looking for this. The Pulse Explorers are now going to get 3D audio capability via the portal, which is fucking amazing. I'm so excited about that.
I thought about you as soon as I saw that, because I know you cannot. When you got your Pulse Explorers, you could not stop talking about how amazing they were. So yeah, I knew you were gonna love that.
Oh, okay.
Listen, go listen to the Arc Raiders stream. As a matter of fact, guys, seriously, go check out the Arc Raiders stream. Any voice audio you hear in that is from the Pulse Explorers. Anytime you see a Battlefield live stream or anything, those are using the Pulse Explorers. I no longer use my headset for gaming. It is just for the live stream now, because the Pulse Explorers keep getting updates and they keep getting better. And as long as they keep getting better, now it's totally fine. But let me find this real quick because, oh, where was it? I want to read it because it was really cool, and I can't find it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Cloud streaming unlocks new ways to play. Enjoy a game side by side with a friend who's using your PS5 under a separate account, or stream your favorite game while someone else watches a movie on the console. Cloud streaming also makes it easier to enjoy PS5 games on the go at a hotel, cafe, friend's place, or anywhere else that has high-speed Wi-Fi connection, since you can keep playing even when your PS5 console back home is powered off or in use by another account. It's that part. It's that whole thing. Like, so, and I can't say this too loud because I think my oldest is still awake, but we're getting another PS5 in the house for Christmas. Like, that's what they're getting. And so now we will be able to stream it from mine, or I'll be able to play a cloud game that I own. One of the kids be on their profile on the PlayStation, and the other one be on their profile on the other PlayStation, and they can play together. Or if I had premium on another account, which I probably won't, if I had premium on another account, then I can have the kid use the portal or what. Like, that's fantastic. That's all that does.
Opening up some options.
Right. It just gives you so many freaking options now, and I'm so excited. Also, they have upped the quality of the streaming, so now it even states on here that you should be able to do live service games without hesitation, without issue. Like,
That's saying a lot. That's a big claim.
Yeah, cloud streaming game. Where is it? Last year beta. We're excited to announce premium membership. Blah 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 blah. Because I read it in this article and I was like, oh, well that's cool. Redesign UI. Status screen. In-game store. Okay, here it is. Yeah, game invitations. Receive game invites from friends that are playing the same game during cloud streaming. Join a multiplayer session directly from the quick menu. So now they're encouraging you to use multiplayer on the portal. Like, that's nuts. They're doing so... It's not about them. ROG released a new handheld that's $1,000. And this comes out, and I am way more excited about this damn thing being $200 and being able to do all of this than I will ever be about a handheld PC. Because this gives me everything or almost everything I want. And so I'm really excited. Now, Enate, I know you were a PSP guy. You had the PS Vita. You had all of those. Do all of these additions scratch that itch?
Not I won't, not quite, only because, like I said, a lot of the scenarios in which I used my PS Vita, the fact that it was native was the big difference, right? Like, I played it on the school bus in ad hoc, playing, Untold Legends with 4-player co-op, and stuff like that. So the ad hoc being offline was more important than, like I said, like this mobile push, right? It would be to a point, like it could do well with that where I'm in certain locations, because like I said, I have my hotspot, which I've played off of before, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So in most scenarios where I am gaming now, yes. But yeah, like when I'm away from it all, like that would be the times, like at times when I go camping, there's an area where we camp where I get literally no signal. Like I can't read manga, I can't none of that. It's no signal. So that would be the time when it wouldn't be able to do that, but I also have alternatives for that. So that would be the one time when, like I said, if I'm honest, it doesn't. So I usually bring the Nintendo Switch, or in this case, the Switch 2. So, and we usually play on that, or I have my laptop and so on. So I have other forms of it, but that's the big reason why I can't completely fulfill it. But yeah, in my day-to-day, in my week-to-week, there's not really anywhere I'm going where I would game, because that we got to be specific here. Like,
That's
I'm
true.
driving 99% of the time, right? Like, so there's no like, oh, I'm just in the car busting it out, getting in like a strategy game while I'm like on the road. Like, no, like that's what I wonder. Like, I'm not a public transportation I drive. So yeah, I'm not playing mid game. I'm also wouldn't bust this out at like because we just had this conversation about on the go and how people talk about it. Like it increases like the amount of time they play all the time. And I'm like, no, it's increasing the amount of time you play around the house. Because most places you go, you don't have the time. Or would you bust out something like this? Like I'm not walking in the doctor's office to wait a couple minutes and I'm like, yo, let me bust out my whole PS Vita case and, you know, connect to the Wi-Fi and go ham. Like, no, I'm just gonna like read manga or talk to y'all on Twitter or something. Like, and by then, my doctor's gonna call me in. Like, I'm not about to be in there with a full game setup, you know, going ham. And then
Oh,
when
I
I
will.
get
I have no
called,
shame.
I will. I have no shame.
Listen, put me on the stirrups. You know what I'm saying? Like
Put you on the stirrups?
full, you know,
Oh.
full gyno.
fuck
You
kind
know,
of
going.
doctor-
You know,
Oh,
while
okay.
you down there chilling. You know, like since you down there playing, I'm about to play too. So like, you know.
Not you the gynecologist with the PS.
I was like,
the
on
PlayStation
the stirrups,
Portal.
what kind of doctors you be going to? But that makes total sense.
Yeah. Oh man. Morgan said, "Look, the game was too good. I
I
can't
gotta
let
go to
it
my
go,
happy
so
place, man. I
Gotta go to my
place.
happy place. So
I'm not here
She
right
said,
now.
You do what you got to do, and I'm gonna do what I
Mhm.
got to do."
it also does
Absolutely.
afford you the opportunity, especially. So one of the other things they added. So I have a video coming out about this tomorrow. So I've been devouring this information all day today. I'm so enthralled by this. It has a way now where you can actually look at your specs to see like how fast your connection is, to see how good it is.
I actually appreciate that.
I
That was
love
actually
that.
something I love because I'm always looking at that. Whether I like when I'm playing a game, when I'm playing, whether it's just offline, online, I always want to see my network speed. I want to see the connectivity, and like just a quick toggle is perfect. Like I thought that was brilliant. Like I know most people won't even think that's a thing or whatever, but yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. That was a big part of the update I really loved.
Yeah, Raichi, I don't know what you mean, a lesser mobile experience. Maybe y'all are talking about something else because the portal is not, it's not a mobile experience. I have a mobile game that I've been playing. It's called DC Dark Legion, and that is my go to sleep game, or I am at work and I have to use the restroom game. I don't. I'm like a Nate. I'm not whipping out my portal in the bathroom stall while I'm at work, trying to do my business and then head back to work. Like I ain't got time for that. Like that's a 10-minute break that I'm busy. Like so, pull that. But it's definitely not. It is a better experience than a mobile device. That'd be like me looking at you and saying that the Asus ROG Ally X is a mobile experience, like a mobile phone.
To be fair, right? If because what I think he might be saying,
he didn't say mobile
like,
phone experience, so that might be.
Yeah, I think he might. I think he might just mean like as opposed to native devices. But like I say, even then, I wouldn't.
yeah.
But I still wouldn't bust out
My bad.
the ROG Xbox Ally X at the office neither. Like I'm not carrying that huge device with me. like I'm like you want me to wear some Jinko jeans?
I swear.
But look,
Like,
it could double as like a weapon though, self defense. You know what I'm saying? You could have it for gaming,
Morgan
but then when
said there
somebody
with her
sneak up on you,
case.
just,
Shit, she said there with the case. I'm carrying your love with me.
all facts.
see, Morgan could get. Girls could get away with it because girls got
Yeah.
purses. So
She's just
that's
like, no, this is
different.
my clutch. Leave me alone.
my clutch bag. My clutch bag. You know what? My case for my thing probably would look that way.
It does.
So like, yeah. So no, but that's what I'm saying. Like most of the time, like where I'm going, like I'm leaving the house to go to the gym. I'm leaving the house to go eat or go, like we said, the doctor's office, groceries. Like I'm not leaving the house where I could just be like, all right, I'm gonna park it up and I'm gonna game real quick. Like I have stuff on my phone meant for that real quick moment where like, all right, I dropped Fox off real quick. She's gonna go in the store for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna read this manhwa that I was reading. And then like she's gonna be right back out. And then I can because that's something I can immediately drop and just be like, it's not gonna like I don't have to worry about getting to a save point. I don't have to worry about none of that. So there, like, that's why I said, like, there's instances sometimes where I wonder how much on the go are people really doing. I'm like, unless you live in Japan or you have this setup where, where you're going to work on a train every day for like an hour to an hour and a half or 45 minutes at least,
Yeah.
like then I could see, really doing something like that or really being concerned. But even then, right? Personally, I would just have a smaller solution. Like that's how I think, because I have this goes to the point where we talked about Xbox talking about how you can access your stuff on your phone. I don't want to use my phone to game. I don't want to drain my battery. I want my phone needs to last all day, and it's for very specific reasons, right? Like, I don't want to use that. So I would have something like one of those, I think it's the name of the company is Anbernic or Anberic. I've never pronounced it without reading it.
That's when I bust out the Game Boy SP.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Anbernic just came out with a small version that looks like a Game Boy SP that has like a IPS screen.
You talking about Soldier Boy?
And I'm like,
no, I'm
no,
kidding.
not him. No,
He ain't gonna get sued again for that.
Soldier
he is
Boy
about
off
to
in
get-
it.
yeah, Anbernic. Yeah, so I did say it right. But yeah, so they have one, and then the one that Soldier Boy stole from was like Robo something or something.
Retroid.
Yeah, Retroid. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that is where like I'd get something like that, where I have something designed specifically to play smaller titles really on the go, with something like Morgan was saying, the thing that they forget about with a lot of these new devices is like really fitting in your pocket. Like the Game Boy Advance SP was like the most durable thing on the planet. Like, that thing was like a Nextel cell phone. Like, I used to, like, one of my friends had so many scratches on it. Yeah, you just close it, and
slam it.
It was perfect. So like, I would use a device like that that's dedicated to that, where I'm not really worried about it. It's super small. Slap it, close it down real quick. Slap it in my pocket. Good
Pause.
to go. Like,
And Nate's over here talking about slapping it and slapping it in his pocket and shit. Like, Lord help. We got gynecologists, we got Morgan in stirrups, and we got a Nate slapping stuff in his pocket. I don't know what's going on with the show no more, guys. I just don't. It's just.
But that's what I'm saying. Like we have dedicated, and this kind of spoke to something that Logic was mentioning on Brap's show the other day, right? Where there are instances when you sit down to game, because this goes to that TikTok thing you were saying, right? When they're talking about them fighting for TikTok's attention, and it's like, okay, there are instances when you would be on TikTok, right? Or when you would be scrolling YouTube shorts, right? That is not the time when you then sit down in front of your setup, fire up that big boy game, that AAA joint, and put on your surround sound headphones and you go ham. You're not fighting TikTok for that experience. Like, you give me a great experience there, that is all I'm doing, right? But yeah, like you said, when you need to go to the bathroom at work right quick, or you're on break, you're like, I'm not going to, like, I don't want to bust out, touch controls on the cloud on my phone and be like, yeah, I'm going to play this game real quick. Like, I hate touch controls. Like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to play big AAA experiences like that. So there is a rhyme and a reason and a place for each device.
And
so that's why I say, like, yeah, and generally it's in the home. Like you said, like, when you asked me, that's why I told you back then it wouldn't have done it, right? Because those smaller devices were necessary, right? Like, I'm personally telling you right now, like, even if I had a kid that wanted to do like I did back in the day, and I got them any of these devices, none of these devices are small enough that I'm allowing you to take them, or cheap enough, number one. So, like, all of them are too big or too expensive to just be pocketable and take the way that we used to take our Game Boys and stuff to school. I even took my PSP. I took my PSP to school. I used to watch Spider-Man on it. I had the whole thing. Like, girls used to think that was like the most amazing thing. You could watch movies on this thing.
Listen,
like,
man,
I'm telling
Game
you,
Boy
I used to love
Color
that.
trained us to put cell phones in our back pocket. That's all I'm
Absolutely.
gonna say. Like, that little bastard. That little bastard was my jam. I kept extra batteries with me for that damn thing. Like, extra batteries went in my backpack because
Nah,
I,
I understand it. I get it. But that's what I'm saying. Like there's like you said, there's different things for different reasons, right? That's why most of the time, what is your child going to take with them to school once they're old enough? Their phone. So they're going to have things that they do on their phone while they're at work. But a lot of people I know, they have kids, and my nieces and nephews, they all have cell phones. But when they get home, if they had that game they were playing when they were, playing, my niece was playing A Plague's Tale, or my nephew playing Spider-Man or God of War, whatever, right? When they got home, put the phone down, and maybe they text whoever they wanted to text or whatever, and then they're in the game. Like, so again, you're not fighting those two different things, but what you're fighting is, or what they believe they're fighting, doesn't really exist, because the rest of those people on a device, like watching TikTok or whatever, are not inherently gamers, right? So just because you put it on a device like a phone, like, people think it's like a store, like, that phrase, build it and they will come. Like, because that was a store, like, people had to go to get groceries, or they had to go to get clothes, or whatever it is, right? So of course that would work, but that doesn't work on the phone, because everybody is not looking to game. Like, my mom's sending me a random TikTok reel or Instagram reels or a YouTube short. It has nothing to do with my mom being a gamer. Like, the only thing gaming related my mom would probably send me is if she saw like a setup or something that she thought was cool that looked like mine or something, and be like, don't this look like your setup or something? Like, that's all she doing. My mom's not gaming at all unless it's Pac-Man. Like, that's her jam. That's where it stops. So it's like, that's why I said, like, they have the whole wrong idea about who they're fighting. But yeah, like I said, the other devices don't really do it. I will say the problem, and that I'm interested to see what happens with, if they do this native device that we're hearing about. The biggest problem I will say that faces us today is good ergonomics are fighting portability. So it's like you can't get both. It's either small enough for your pocket and it's super pocketable and portable,
and it hurts your hands and you get arthritis.
Exactly.
Like,
or like you said, you get good ergonomics, and that's it. Like, it's like they're fighting each other.
No, and that makes sense. Like, that was the whole idea behind the boomerang controller for the PS3. Was like, they saw how people were sitting, and they were like, hey, if we can make it to where they don't have to move their arms even more forward, that even puts less strain on their arms, allowing them to game longer. So it was this big ass fucking boomerang that was like supposed to be a little wider, a little bit more arched, so it would just like sit in the lap, and your hands would essentially be in your lap on like one leg and one on the other. And so thank God they didn't give us that, but it just... Like,
we almost had that.
We almost had that shit. And then they were like, you know what? We have a great DualShock controller. Let's just use that. Put more shit in it, and let's just use that. And we were like, hey guys, y'all should just use that. And the rest is history. Now, I don't think we're ever going to get a PlayStation innovation on a controller design, like appearance. Like, I know the DualShock or the DualSense is bigger than the PS4 controller, but it's the fucking same. It's bigger and it has better internals, but essentially it's the same design. And so,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you'd like. I'm just waiting for somebody in the chat to go, it's not the same design. Actually,
you mean the general ergonomics of the controller?
Yes. The general design of the controller has stayed the same since the PlayStation 1. They added sticks to it, and then from that point forward, it's been pretty much the same. Some have been bigger, some have been smaller, some have had a touchpad, some have not, some have rumble, some have DualSense technology, but for the most part, they're the same. And so, yeah, it's it definitely is one of those things where you're either going to sacrifice comfort for size, or vice versa. And it's like you said. You talked about the you talked about the comfort of handhelds and stuff like that and the size. Well, the Switch, I can't play the damn thing if it has just the regular Joy-Cons with it. My fingers
Understandable.
it just doesn't work no more. I'm almost
Yeah.
40. They don't do that. And so what do we have to do? Well, my son doesn't like the little Joy-Cons either, so we had to get him a Split Pro Yori controller. And
Yeah.
it's massive. it's so big. It doesn't, the Switch now with those attached does not fit in any carrying case except the one specifically made to work with that controller setup, because they're so massive. And so anyways,
True.
Wow. All right. So that's my 30-minute shill session for the PS Portal. Be happy it wasn't an hour. That's all I'm going to say, because they dropped an update, and the first thing and the only thing I really saw was, oh my god, I get to play the games that I own if they have it. Yeah. Like, and I didn't see all the rest of it until a little bit later. And so I've just been progressively getting more and more excited about this as the day went on. Now, something else that's super exciting, though, and I love this. Japan Patent Office rejects Nintendo patent for its Pokemon capture mechanic. A third party claims games like Arc, Monster Hunter 4, Craftopia, and Pokemon Go already used this feature. Now, there is a full-on report that you can go see at GamesFray. Listen, that is all in legal speak, and I didn't want to take the time to decipher all that shit. So I didn't. That's why we're using an article talking about the report. It says, as reported by GamesFray, the patent filed March 2024, a few months before its high-profile lawsuit against Palworld developer Pocket Pair, the Japan Patent Office, JPO, has issued an office action suggesting Nintendo's attempt to secure the patent has been rejected. Rejected. You fucking pricks. Rejected. Get out of here, stupid ignorant fucks. Rejected after an undisclosed third-party submission of prior art determined the claim technique lacked an inventive step. In other words, you're not original. You didn't come up with this, and other people have implemented it, and you didn't say a damn thing. So sit down and be quiet. Oh, I'm so happy about this. Oh, Nintendo got...
I'm the same, because they shouldn't
Go
have
ahead.
never got it granted over here in the first place. And now, after the rejection, in true fashion, the American side is finally, like, oh, maybe we'll review what we did, because that's kind of weird that they rejected it. We never do anything first now, like when it comes to stuff like this. We're just like, yeah, sure, we'll let that pass. But now I guess like the head of it now was like, oh, he requested a rare review of the granted patent, but it's only after the Japanese patent office rejected it that he's finally like, oh, maybe we should look at that. But yeah, I'm super glad, because it was vague. I don't really care what anybody says. Like, I was like, this was on its way to being a whole nother situation with the way that Nintendo has the patent for the specific way the arrow looks in a racing game, as it pertains to Mario Kart. So the arrow on the top of the screen in the really specific way that they have it is set as a patent. So it was like, no, they don't need to patent generalized things. Like, somebody was like, oh no, it's specific to it coming out of the ball, and like you throw it, and I was like, no, it really wasn't. It was just like small. It was like like character summons another character, and then that character fights for them or whatever. And I was like, bro, that is way too general. Like, I was like, this is basically every summoning class that ever existed. Like, are we for real right now? And of course, like I said, I didn't expect our patent office to pay attention at all. But yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm so glad that they rejected it, and now it's causing other people to look at it who did grant it. So hopefully they just rip it back entirely because
God, I hope so.
yeah, Nintendo's been out of control as far as that stuff goes. Like, yes, granted, like I'm not gonna hold them on getting on Pal World because Pal World knew what they were doing with some of those designs. But yeah, the whole
Sure, it's like Lands of
summoning
Moria or whatever the hell that game is called. They knew what they were doing. Like,
exactly. Yeah,
but
but otherwise, like, yeah, no. This though was egregious. Like, this patent was crazy and should have never been granted.
but this is what happens when you constantly look at Nintendo and go, okay, that sounds good. Yep, we award in your favor. Yep, you win that one. Yep, go ahead. No problem. And then finally, it's like Josh said, Nintendo, you only miss the shots you don't take. Nintendo's like, well, hell, they let us get away with all this other bullshit. Well, they let us do this
Exactly.
too? Like, Morgan, do you have any commentary, concerns, anything on this at all? Not really concerns, but commentary.
No, not really. I just think it's hilarious. I mean, I think Nintendo, they're the type of publisher or hardware manufacturer that's just been in the game for so long that they think that, what they say goes, that they're the law when it comes to gaming around here. Like they're they're the OG, they created everything, so they should be able to patent it. And like you guys were saying, some things I can understand, like, with the power situation, like it was literally some of the designs were like straight rip off of Pokemon. I can understand, that from an artist perspective, but then to try to like patent like monster catching, like I was like, y'all are tripping. Like, and again, I think they thought that, because of the close ties Nintendo has to Japan, that this was going to be like an easy W for them. Like, all we got to do is say we need something, and the Japanese government got us. And for once, the Japanese government put their foot down with Nintendo, and I'm proud of them for that. Because then you have also the they had another rejection from the Americans as well. Like some U.S. court deemed something that they did was unethical or something. So it seems people are realizing that just because Nintendo has the the beloved reputation in gaming, and honestly it's more than gaming when it comes to Nintendo, but regardless of that, they need to be held up to everybody else's standards. Okay, they're not these gods that are can do no wrong, because everybody swears because Nintendo saved gaming that one time that means that they can get away with anything, and it's not true. So I'm glad Nintendo is getting a little a little piece of the work that they put out. Okay, so I hope this rejection is the last of it, but knowing Nintendo, they'll probably try to rewrite the patent to get it passed anyway. So we have to keep our eye out, because this isn't the last of it. Like they'll go to their lawyers, the little ninjas that they have at Nintendo that they keep in a deep dark cavern in the Nintendo basement somewhere, and only let it out when it's time for them to try to skirt the law. They'll have them probably try to rewrite this patent to get it approved. So hopefully that won't happen, but we'll see.
So this is kind of in two separate instances, Nintendo has been told either no or figure out a different way. One of them, the article will go on to say that it wants it to be argued that, or they have argued that mods should not count as prior art, because they're like modifications, they're all this other stuff, and so like they've already been told like, yeah, that's probably not going to fly either. So like they're catching it right now, and I think it goes back to what Enate was saying, where listen, they've gotten told yes for so long, or I'm sorry, what Josh was saying, they've been told yes for so freaking long, and now finally people are looking at them and going, you know what, hang on. Like this is not, listen, we were with you, but then they changed some of the art style and stuff and some of the creature designs, and now no, like you can't put like crouching, like sight lines. Like what are you gonna do next? Are we gonna have Splinter Cell guys come out and say, hey guys, sight lines, that's our thing. No other game can use sight lines, because remember in our game when you had to do the stealth missions and you had to like look at the guards and follow their sight lines? Yeah, that was us. You can't, that's ours now. Like, the fuck? No, that's not how that works.
Exactly.
like,
Like you'd have people target, a targeting reticle would be patented.
Yeah.
And it's like what? It's like, dude, that's a basic gameplay thing.
That's a
And
much better example. Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally supposed to, like, basic mechanics are never supposed to be able to be patented. So, like, technically, like I said, it shouldn't have never went through. But like Mr. Grimm said in the chat, you gotta wonder, did y'all even read it in the American Patent Office? Like, because it sounds like they were surprised, like, about what it was about. Like, the fact that, like, I don't think people really understand, like, the re-review thing for the patent office. That's why it's stated when you see the article, it says they initiated a rare re-review, because they don't really do it. Because usually once they grant it, they've thoroughly vetted it, and it's not something they're going to reverse. But now they issued a re-review after another, like, Nintendo's own government denied the patent. Like, that should...
Like, they had the Japanese officials in the back of Nintendo. Was like, I know damn well you did not. They're like, listen, sir.
Like, listen, we can't even cover for you on this one. We can't.
Execution orders.
It's exactly. Almost what should have happened when the FCC went up against Microsoft for the ABK deal. It's almost like they should have looked at one of the biggest corporations in America and go, actually globally, one of the biggest corporations, go, you know what? Yeah, no. Because then it would have given license to everybody else in the world to go, yeah, you know what? Your home country said no. Yeah, we're out. It's like, for that reason, we're out. That's how that would have gone. Tencent went to Sony, and they still... Oh, yeah. So, Raichi said Sony has the intellectual property of a ginger. They own gingers. The Sony vs. Tencent Horizon copycat. That thing... Who cares? Going is fun, and I will play the copycat. Hey, listen! If I liked Horizon. Let me get a copycat of Horizon. Just make it, like, a different color scheme? Like, try? Try. That's what it boils down to. Like... Low effort is still low effort, no matter what. And if you're just copying somebody else's homework, that was low effort in middle school, that's still low effort now. Like,
but they super got caught though, because of the fact that PlayStation has had multiple contacts from them asking them if they could make the Horizon game, and then you do it anyway. That's like calling Ferrari and being like, hey, can we copy that new car that you just put out? And they're like, nah. And then you just put out a car that looks exactly like it and just call it a different name. You're like, no, it's not your car. I don't know. It's not a Ferrari.
It's a Safari. Okay.
Yeah,
completely different.
Completely different.
Or it's a Pssr.
But yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely tried it though.
So, speaking of Pssr, it reminded me when I said that, I was like, Pssr, that sounds like Pssr. And that is one of the topics tonight.
That's a segue.
Listen, my brain makes connections where there shouldn't be any, okay? That's just the truth. Oh yeah, that's the one that I was looking for the article. That's the one I can't pull up on the desktop because it wants me to either play ads or give them money to not play ads, and they can get wrecked. Okay, so this is basically about the PS5 Pro, and I believe all of us in here have a Pro, right? Enate, Morghan, both y'all have a Pro, right?
Yep.
Okay. Is that y'all's primary PlayStation that y'all play y'all's games on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I worded that in a way because I know that y'all play Switch and Xbox and PC and all that. So I worded it in a way where when you are playing a PlayStation game or a game on your PlayStation, the Pro is your console of choice.
Yep.
Okay. So here's what the article says. It says lack of Arc Raiders PS5 Pro enhancements is disappointing but not surprising. This is from Zarmina Khan over at PlayStation Lifestyle. It says, when Sony announced the PS5 Pro, there was some misconception that AAA games would be mandated to support the console. That was never a misconception. Not quite. As seen in the latter half of 2025, highly anticipated games either snubbed the console altogether or offered a lackluster implementation of the PS5 Pro enhancements. Borderlands 4, Arc Raiders, Dying Like the Beast all launched without PS5 Pro enhancements, while games like The Outer Worlds 2, Silent Hill F, and Metal Gear Solid Delta performed the worst on the upgraded hardware. PS5 Pro performance issues tend to stem from the implementation of Sony's in-house upscaler, the Pssr. Frankly, given the number of games struggling with Pssr implementation, we think the issue is more on Sony's end than the developers. Now, I do like her articles for one reason. They are great conversation starters. Because I wonder, and I haven't looked it up, and I probably should have, what engine is Outer World 2 on?
UE5.
Yeah, it's Unreal.
Okay, hang on. What engine is Silent Hill F on?
Unreal.
Yep.
Okay, hang on. Hang on. Let's go to the last one. What engine is Metal Gear Solid Delta on?
Also
Unreal.
UE5.
Okay. Hang on. Let's see. What engine? This one might get me. What engine is Arc Raiders on? Oh shit! No, I didn't know that was UE5. I knew the others were. I didn't know that was. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm gonna come off sounding like a huge apologist here and a huge like, hey, chips and sticks, holy shit balls, I haven't seen you in here in forever. What's up, dude? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that maybe, just maybe, after playing Ghost of Yotai for 86 hours, maybe it's not PSSR that's at fault. I also put like 40 hours, I think, into Expedition 33, which was also a UE5 game that actually looked fucking amazing on the Pro.
Yeah, it played amazing on the Pro.
Oh, it was great. The only thing that was a little off was the hair, and some of the things they did with the microaggressions were sometimes a little off. Like a cheek moved when it wasn't supposed to, and it would throw me off. Like my eyes glitched. So yeah, I don't know if this is like an overcorrection from PlayStation Lifestyle because they have PlayStation in the name, so trying to make it seem like they're impartial and all this other stuff.
I could tell you right now, PlayStation Lifestyle gives PlayStation the smoke more than like almost any other website. They are constantly giving PlayStation smoke.
Bro, I think they hate PlayStation low key, bro.
Right,
yeah,
but
like,
that's usually the dude that writes for them. Zarmina is usually the one who's like, this is great. She almost to me has like the bubbly personality of the two, and he's more like, no, I'm gonna call your bullshit right here. But I think this is, I don't know, man.
I just think it was an oversight. Like they just weren't paying attention to all the games that were having the issue. Because let's be real, UE5, it'd be one thing if UE5 was perfectly fine everywhere else. It's not. UE5 has major performance issues across most of the games that have come out or have launched with broken lighting systems and stuff like that. Like the lighting system in the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake was completely broken on max settings on PC when it launched. Like it basically turned off the lighting system entirely. Like it performed like crap. So the performance was bad. We're running into the same thing right now with The Outer Worlds 2. You can literally look up footage of people running it on like a 5090 with struggling to get satisfactory performance, which is insane. So yeah, UE5 has a performance implementation issue. Whatever that 5.6 was that they showed off where The Witcher 4 was running on, they need to introduce that expeditiously. Like they need it yesterday. And I don't know what could be retroactively implemented. It's notorious for being an issue to update the version that a game was made on, depending on what sort of customizations and things a particular developer did during development. So it just kind of depends on the game. But there's a reason why I told a bunch of people to make sure you watched that that Witcher 4 explanation, but also more than just that explanation alone is all you really needed. But that entire thing about Unreal 5.6 was literally about them basically drawing back in on the performance in every aspect, because they're overdrawing on the performance aspect. Like, so many things are in assets. Like, the UE5 has so many bells and whistles, but a lot of them are costing too much power wise than what they should versus the picture they're producing. So it's like games that should run just fine on, suitable hardware are struggling because they don't have certain things implemented well and optimized enough on the engine side in order to get it to cooperate at that level. So you like I said, again, shout out to Expedition Team for programming the way that they did to get the performance they did, because it was phenomenal. But yeah, a lot of teams that are just kind of like, turn everything on, hit the max button and go crazy. Like, you're going to run into that. And it's like, again, this is something I have to explain to people who are looking into getting into PC gaming recently, because a baseline joke that I always say, because a lot of people, especially if it's for their teenagers or something, are like, what games do you want to play? Well, I just want to play Fortnite. And the word just, I already know they're thinking a game like Fortnite is like nothing to play. But if you max out Fortnite, like on DirectX 12 with TSR and all the other bells and whistles they have on, it will like give the 5090 some work to do. Like, and that's a $2,000 GPU. Like, it's not easy. Like, people have a misconception because they're used to just playing the game on whatever setting it is on their console that they're playing, or leaving it on default or whatever on PC. But if you turn everything on, including ray tracing, 3D volumetric, what is it, like 3D, it has, I forget the settings name, but basically it will increase the resolution of 3D objects if it feels like your graphics card is not working hard enough. Like there's a bunch of stuff that can just like hammer like even the highest performing systems when it comes to that. And the reason I use that as a baseline example is because, well, Fortnite is Epic's game, and Fortnite is often the test bed for a lot of their new implementations, like TSR. Their custom solution was introduced in Fortnite first before it was introduced anywhere else. In a lot of scenarios, when you have an NVIDIA or whatever, you won't use it because you'll be using DLSS or on an AMD card FSR over TSR. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can turn a bunch of crap on and just go crazy and watch your performance just fall through the ground. So yeah, they definitely have a lot going on. I mean, and like I said, from a visual perspective, it looks good, but yeah, there was definitely an oversight here on implementing enough performance measures in the baseline that, again, like I said, you're running into a lot of teams not really being able to control it that way. And then, you're getting, this is a prime example of what we talk about, how great some of the specialized engines are. But again, we know how hard it is to do that, right? Microsoft spent years and years and years and tons of money trying to develop that Slipstream engine just to cut it out. And now all their teams are switching to UE5 because, again, people underestimated how hard it is to maintain an engine while also building a game. So again, shout out to PlayStation because they're very good at that. And that work gets underestimated. But you saw how flawless the Decima engine performed when we just played Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding 2 performed insanely well on the PS5. Just the base PS5. Like, to a remarkable degree. And then obviously you got a little more push out of the PS5 Pro and so on and so forth. But to the point where it, no one playing on a PS5 felt like they were getting like a terrible experience in comparison to PS5 Pro people, because the programming down to the metal on that thing is just done so well, and it was just so good. Like, again, that gets underestimated until you run into games that have a bunch of trouble, right? And these aren't the only engines, right? It's mainly UE5, right? But one of the more famous engines for having trouble with open world, specifically the RE engine. Look at what Monster Hunter Wilds was going through performance wise, and Dragon's Dogma 2. Those games were getting dragged for the longest because their performance were in the ground. Another game recently with UE5, that was another game that had major performance issues, which I know everybody saw that because you couldn't escape that debacle on the timeline, which was Borderlands 4. Like, that famously had Randy Pitchford, having a fit all over Twitter like he was 5 and not a multi-millionaire from this. But yeah, so everybody saw that. So yeah, it's definitely a UE5 issue. 100%. Yeah, they definitely got to get it situated, like I said, hopefully in tandem with the 5.6 update, and of course us going into 2026 with PSSR 2.0. Hopefully these things kind of come together, work together, and create a very good symbiotic relationship, and we could put these performance issues behind us. But yeah.
So real quick, I didn't want to cut you off or interrupt you at all, but I have some responses, and some people made some comments about some stuff you had said, so I just want to give you a chance to hear just what nobody's saying anything like bad. But Corey Massey said, what never happens? When a game doesn't play as expected on a 5090, no one ever says the 5090 is crap or a scam. When there's a game that has graphic hiccups on a 5090 hardware, no one says that. But me saying that makes me a PS fanboy. There's many things that make us PS fanboys, but yes, that is the easiest way to get rid of that conversation and not have to address it. Is go, well, you're just a fanboy. No, it's actually true. That's did I say CPU? I might have said the wrong thing.
No, he said 5090 though. I know what he meant.
All right. And then UE5 update on Fortnite. Okay, so Raichi said, I remember the UE5 update on Fortnite. Last gen consoles suffered a lot for 6 months. Now they fixed the performance on last gen. Wara then said, Enate, I just dropped in, but did anyone say yet that Arc Raiders runs well because it's not using UE5 software ray tracing, it's using NVIDIA global illumination? And so, like...
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, that's...
But remember what I just said about the problem that Metal Gear had was a lighting issue, right? So it seems like a big part of this seems to be the embedded lighting system, which again, Morghan is famous for being the first one to run into this issue with Unreal on one of her favorite games, which was the Star Wars game, Morghan? Star Wars...
Oh, Jedi Survivor.
Jedi Survivor. And you know what happened with that? They forced ray tracing on for the longest, and that is why the performance was in the gutter. Again, prime example. So, yeah.
They had no other lighting system. Their only lighting system was ray tracing, which was tanking their performance.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, and then I think, 3 or 6 months later, they finally did an update.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
That's what kills me, because I was playing Arc Raiders last night, and it is visually impressive. Like, it looks really good. And I was wondering, how in the world did they get it to look this good? And I that's why I didn't think it was UE5. To be quite honest, I was genuinely shocked when I looked it up and saw that it was UE5 on Arc Raiders. I did, because generally speaking, you can see when it's UE5. Remember, I mentioned the hair from Expedition 33. When it's moving, you see kind of fuzzy a little bit. That's just, you just get that. Now, one of the guys in the chat said that Expedition 33 was a blurry game, and I don't agree with that. I think that certain aspects of the character models sometimes got blurry, mainly the hair. but it wasn't a blurry game. I never saw blur in the presentation of it, but that was just me. And
It wasn't blurry for me.
now,
So on my PS5 Pro, I don't know what they're playing on or how they played it, but it was not blurry for me. And I am a stickler for resolution and graphical fidelity, like to the point where, I get on everybody else's nerves about that stuff. So yeah.
so I just thought it was interesting, and like I said, guys, I don't always read the articles. Most of the time, I don't. So I didn't even know that she was mentioning Outer Worlds 2, Silent Hill F, and Metal Gear Solid. I didn't know that she was just mentioning games that were UE5. Had no idea. But to me, that's kind of a big glaring thing that like you should have picked up on that. Like, this isn't your first article you've written. This isn't the first time you've written about video games. Like, you should have. I picked up on that, and that's not my job. Like, that's it's crazy. Morgan, do you have anything to? Oh, wait, hang on. Let me read this from Wara. Oh, he answered Corey's thing. So he said, people don't blame the 5090 because it's not sold as a complete package, like a console. There are no dev kits for a 5090 like a PS5. A lot of games run... Hang on. A lot of games run bad due to CPU bottlenecks. A 5090 is notably not a CPU. That's where that came from. Okay. Huh. So what? Any response to that before we move to the next topic?
No. I get what Wara was saying.
Okay. All right. So, next topic. Do y'all like Marvel games?
You mean like the cosmic one coming up?
No, I mean, no. I mean like Spider-Man. Actually, yeah, the cosmic one. Hang on, that reminds me. Let me put that up here on the screen. Do y'all like Spider-Man? Are you excited for Wolverine? Did you like Miles Morales?
Absolutely.
Hey. Well, guys, guess what? We're about to have a shit ton more of that coming from Insomniac. It says, this is from VGC, it says Marvel Games, it'll continue to work with Spider-Man and Wolverine Studio Insomniac for many years to come. It says the boss of Marvel Games has implied that the upcoming Wolverine game won't be its last collaboration with Insomniac Games and that the studio will be involved with Marvel for the foreseeable future. Insomniac is currently working on its fourth Marvel game, Marvel's Wolverine, which is set to release in fall of 2026, following the critically and commercially successful Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Marvel's Spider-Man 2. It is not yet officially known what the studio has planned next, however. A hint may have been dropped by Marvel Games general manager Halleck Mentis, however, who recently stated that Marvel and Insomniac will continue to work together beyond the release of Wolverine. In an interview with Game Informer, Mentis was asked about Marvel's philosophy regarding video games. He replied that one of the company's responsibilities is to make sure its IP is made available to the next generation of creators, continuing the tradition set by its comic books. We've spent upwards of a decade building the Marvel Games portfolio, and it's been fun watching the tapestry unfold game by game to see players' reactions. There's been tremendous level of thought that went into the games we decided to pursue. We've almost instinctively operated from a place of no regrets, meaning if we projected ourselves 20 years into the future and looked back, we don't ever want to say we should have made that game or why did we not push harder to make this happen? That's a great sense of responsibility at play here. Marvel is an almost 90-year-old creative brand, yet it's as fresh as it's ever been because it's as fresh as ever because during all that time, each new generation grew up with Marvel, ultimately became creators and left their mark and then passed the torch to the next generation. We are here now carrying that torch, and we feel that we have a debt of gratitude to deliver the players and future creators whose first encounter with Marvel might be one of our games. So here's the thing. If you keep that same passion, I am all for this. Like, what I don't want though, and because there's a positive and a negative here. If they're still passionate about it, which when you hear them talking about Wolverine, they all seem super excited about it still. They all seem like they can't wait for the gamer to play it and see all the crazy crap that you can do and all that. So, like, when thinking about this, if they're still at that level of excitement, then abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. But I don't want it to become, hey, we're just Insomniac, this is just what we do, you know? Morghan, what do you think
Yeah,
on this?
that,
Enate, what do you think on this?
yeah, I think she was muted, so
Oh.
she might not have.
Oh shit, my bad. I was just
Yeah.
talking to. My bad. I
So
was like
what do you
literally
think?
just like, yeah, huh? Yeah, I mean, I get people's fear that Insomniac will turn into like, just a Marvel pump out superhero studio. But I think they've proven that, they can do multiple things at a time, right? I mean, they're the studio I think that's been holding PlayStation up this entire generation. Right? I mean, especially with the beginning of the generation, they like pumped out what 3 or 4 games. We had Miles Morales, we had Ratchet and Clank, we had Spider-Man 2, we had Spider-Man 2018 remastered. Like they were just going crazy. And I think the fact that they were still willing to make Ratchet and Clank, to put all that funding into it, I mean, it was a great fucking game. Like that was one of my favorite games that came out in 2021. Amazing game. It really showed off what PlayStation was trying to do with the PS5 as far as like the SSD, showing the portals jumping and everything like that, and seamless transitions from one world to the next. So it seems like they still haven't forgotten the studio that they were, right? That the IPs that really put them on the map, like Ratchet and Clank, even as old as it is, and as I think it's like on their like 25th anniversary or something like that with Ratchet and Clank. So I think they're still going to be pumping out other IPs, because I think in the unfortunate hack that happened in Insomniac, that roadmap got revealed, and I'm pretty sure one of the games on that roadmap was another Ratchet and Clank game that was in there. It was like Ratchet and Clank, Venom, Wolverine, and then like an X-Men game, and then another Ratchet and Clank or something like that. So I mean, personally, I enjoy their Marvel games. I think they've made one of the best Spider-Man games ever. I enjoyed 2018. I enjoyed Spider-Man 2. I really liked Miles Morales, and I can't wait to see what they do with Wolverine. And I think what people are most worried about is that they're all going to be the same game with like a different skin, right? Like it's just going to be Spider-Man with a Wolverine skin, or it's just going to be, the next game's going to be like X-Men with the Spider-Man, it's going to be an X-Men game, but it's still Spider-Man, which is with the X-Men skin, right? But we see, at least from like what they've shown us with the state of play and the trailers, that this is definitely something a lot different from Spider-Man. Like for one, it's going to be M-rated, unlike Spider-Man, which is T. They're not going to pull back on the punches of blood and guts and gore and things like that. It's going to be a lot more of a mature game versus what Spider-Man, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, right? Who he beats up bad guys, but he doesn't kill them, right? You throw a bad guy off of a roof in Spider-Man, he'll just stick to the side of the building, right? Because Spider-Man doesn't kill people, so you'll throw him off, and then he'll web sling, and the web will stick to the side, and now the villain's just hanging there, right? But with Wolverine, he doesn't give a fuck. He's slashing, decapitating, like just going all in. So I think that's what most people fear, is that it's just going to be a samey type of studio making the same game over and over again. Apologize if you can hear that ambulance behind me, but I don't think that. I think Insomniac deserves the benefit of the doubt for being such a great studio and putting out so many, not just quantity but quality games for PlayStation. And I think that people's fear that they're just going to be the Marvel studio, I think that's kind of, I don't feel that is accurate, because like I said, they have made other games besides Marvel games, and they've shown that they're a studio willing to work on multiple projects at one time, right? Because otherwise they wouldn't have been able to pump out so many damn games this generation. But the mere fact that they are willing to divide their team, divide the studio to work on different projects, I think that should calm people's nerves about the potential of them only making Marvel games. I don't think they will, because Insomniac's the type of studio where they like to try new things, right? Like they like Sunset. They have the Sunset Overdrive situation, Ratchet and Clank. It's just they have a lot of creatives in their on their studio team, and I think there are people in there who want to make games other than just superhero games. So I don't think that we have to worry about them just being a Marvel studio. I just think Marvel is just happy with the games that they've been producing, right? They've been making some of the best Marvel games that Marvel's probably had in a long time. I mean, the IP used to be distributed by Activision, and we can see how terrible they handled the Spider-Man IP. And then you have, Insomniac getting it, with the Spider-Man 1 in 2018. And then they outsell the entirety of Activision's whole Spider-Man catalog with one game. It's just like they immediately took it and slam dunked it. Like, I know people have, really, fond memories of some of the Activision games, because I do too, like web crawl and all that things. But it's just like, I don't think, I mean, they outdid the Arkham Knight series too. So it's just like, if any studio knows what to do with the Marvel IP, and if I was in charge of Marvel, for the one studio that I would make sure to secure a deal with would be Insomniac. I mean, they've made successful games, and that kind of goes against what people were saying, that Spider-Man 2 was a flop and that Marvel was going to start rethinking their deal with Spider-Man, and maybe give it back to Activision. I heard all kinds of rumors after Spider-Man 2 about how terrible it was, and it didn't sell as good as the first, and Marvel's kind of done with Insomniac, and they just kind of worked out a deal for Wolverine before the results of Spider-Man 2 came out, so that's why they're doing Wolverine. But after that, it's done. But no, as we can see, Marvel is very happy with how Insomniac is doing. They're making them a lot of money, regardless of people like, oh man, but they spend so much money on the game, but are they actually making a profit? Yes, they are. Because if they weren't, because as we saw with the hack, there is a deal in place where, for Marvel, they take a big portion of the profits from these Spider-Man IPs. Like, they have to, Insomniac and PlayStation have to make a certain amount of money on this game, right, for them to continue the contract that they have for these Marvel licenses, right? They have to make a certain amount of money. And the mere fact that the Marvel representative came out and said, yeah, we're good. It's years. We got it. You can see Insomniac is making them money. Okay. And that also kind of reinforces to me why the games like with Xbox, when it comes to Indiana Jones, because that's also a Disney property, as well as Blade. I feel like this is other reasons why Indiana Jones is one of the first games to go multi-plat, was because of that Disney deal. When you have a Disney IP, you have to make a certain amount. And I think they knew if that was exclusive to Xbox and PC, they weren't going to be able to afford that. So they had to bring that to PlayStation, because PlayStation is where the games are going to sell, and that's where people are going to buy it. And because these Disney IPs aren't cheap. So I think this kind of, like I said, reinforces the fact that Marvel is very happy with the partnership that they have with PlayStation and Insomniac, because, like I said, Disney is a company that really doesn't play about their money. And if they are upset with a business deal that they have, or they want to end the relationship, they will do it immediately, because that's just how Disney works. They're a greedy ass company. Okay, we all know it. We've seen the stuff that they do. So if they were unhappy with the contractual relationship that they have with Insomniac and PlayStation, they would, Wolverine would probably be the last game that they would make, and they're like, oh, how they word it, we're looking for new partners to explore our Marvel IPs with, and we're excited about the future. It'd be some bullshit like that. But the fact that, like I said, they're reiterating, they're doubling down, like, yeah, we're sticking with, Insomniac is it. We're very happy for years, not just, a couple, no, they say years to come. As it sounds like, as long as Insomniac wants to keep making our games, we'll let them. Because they do very well. And we saw the reception for Wolverine, right? Like the YouTube videos, the views was going up, it was trending everywhere. Everybody was just so insanely happy about it, because they said, oh my God, they didn't know if Insomniac was going to go that route of the blood and gore with Wolverine if they want to go full, but they did, and everybody's just hype about this game. So I already know Wolverine's gonna sell like crazy.
And they didn't even hide it. Like in the trailer, it's literally the first thing you see is him double clawing somebody and ripping them in half, and you're like, oh, all right, well, shit, all right, fans, we are here.
Because you gotta remember, in this state of play, that was the first thing they said when they did the little developer interview. Who's like, the main question we get at Insomniac is, are we going to go all in for Wolverine? Is the violence going to be there? The answer, yes.
Yes.
They knew, because they've been making this, like I said, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man game where he doesn't really, there's no really blood or gore like that. He doesn't kill anybody. So everybody was like, are you really going to go all the way with Wolverine? Because you have to when it's Wolverine. And that's why they got the reception they did, because they did what people wanted to do, wanted them to do. They did the decapitation, the blood, the full violence of Logan is what you're going to get, right? So, based on that reception, I'm sure they, and it's, you can, I think you can pre-order it now, I think, right? Or wishlist it or something like that. No, you can't pre-order because they don't have a date, but you can wishlist it. I'm pretty sure, probably based on the number of people who've wishlisted that game, I'm sure Marvel is very happy with the projection that they see for the game. So yeah, Marvel's happy, Insomniac's happy, and as long as they keep making great Marvel games, I'm not going to be mad that they're making Marvel games, because I might be a little biased, but I'm a big Marvel fan. So I enjoy the Marvel games that they make. I'm excited. I hope we get that Venom DLC that was supposed to be happening. I hope, we get that X-Men game that's rumored to happen, and the Hulk game that supposedly happened. Look, I want it all. Okay. I'm selfish like that. It's fine. So I personally don't mind the avenue that Insomniac is taking. Because like I said, I think they're still going to be making multiple games at one time, and they're not a one game focused studio like Sucker Punch is. There are multiple games working at one time type of studio, because that's just the type of studio they are, right? So I'm not worried about it. I think we're gonna get Wolverine, or we'll probably get another game from them like the year or two after that, because that's just how they work. So
that's just how they work. Like, who knows?
How they work.
We'll get the Wolverine game as so.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, real quick. Raichi with the $2 Canadian. He said, "Morgan, did you like the Gravity Rush games?"
I never played Gravity Rush. Sad enough.
Oh,
I didn't.
Okay.
I know. Don't
I
judge
didn't
me.
either. It's fine.
They look really good, though. They look like I always see people sharing, the old girl jumping off of, into the sky or whatever. It looks really cool. So it looks cool.
And so
I like the Gravity Rush games. I did play both of them on release, and I own the remasters.
Oh, okay.
But man, like, yeah, like I can spin all day in like a F-22 fighter jet, but that game, you got to be careful how fast you spin the camera. That game could definitely get you give you some sort of like vertigo while
really
you're spinning. Yeah, it's a bit crazy. Because I mean, if you ever watch the footage of someone playing it, like, you can flip and like turn any other direction. Like, it can get crazy sometimes. But yeah, it was a solid game. I don't think it'll ever come back, but it was a solid game.
I like.
They're making a movie for it, right?
Are they?
We got Google. Hang on.
I'm pretty sure they said they were making a Gravity Rush movie.
I think they're doing. Yes,
the live-action movie adaptation of Gravity Rush is in development by PlayStation Productions and Scott Free Productions, with Anna Mastro directing. From a script by Emily Jerome. While development is confirmed, there has been no release date or further casting news, and concept footage was shown at CES 2024. That is the Gemini overview using articles from Deadline.
Okay, so, okay, so that's confirmed. Maybe if the reception's good, though, we'll get a remaster or something. That'll be cool, and I'll definitely play it then.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry, Morgan. There's some more stuff. People were saying some stuff during your response to this. So, where was I? Hang on, Lord help. I think Sony will eventually do a Spider-Man IP. Okay, so Chips and Sticks said Disney checked EA years ago with Star Wars. The mouse doesn't play about his cheese. I just thought that was funny.
They were so quick after the flop of like Battlefront 2 or whatever. They were like, okay, we are shopping around the Star Wars IP. Not everybody can get a taste of it. They're like, you want Star Wars? You want Star Wars? You know, Ubisoft got Star Wars. They got this other team got Star Wars. They let everybody have it because they were just so sick and tired of EA's failure of that IP. That's what I'm saying. It's like, but you only see one studio making like a Spider-Man, centered game. That's all I'm saying.
So the other thing one of the things that Wara said, he said, do you predict there is a no blood and gore mode? And he's talking about for Wolverine. I said I do. Now,
yeah, I do.
We got Ghost of Tsushima that has a mode that is all the blood. Like, it's the mode I played on the entire game once I found it.
The Mickey mode, yeah.
I didn't change it. Now, in that mode, you can still turn blood and dismemberment off. But I still kept it because I liked the over exaggeration of the mud being slung and everything coming off of the clothing. It was really cool looking. Like, they did some really cool stuff with that game. But if you can have that in there, I think that's I don't see the other studios looking at them and going, you know what? That's great. Y'all did a great job there. We're not gonna use that idea. Like, it just.
No, Insomniac is absolutely gonna have a toggle for that because they know that they have a fan base of like younger kids,
right?
And, parents that have kids that love the Spider-Man games and Ratchet and Clank, so they know that those kids are gonna want to play, and maybe some parents aren't cool with the blood and dismemberment, so they're definitely gonna have a. Would you like to turn that off? And it's just like just slicing through with nothing coming out or something like that, or whatever they decide to do. But it's definitely going to have a blood off option. I think that's something PlayStation specifically has really kind of leaned into now, like a kind of a PG mode, a streamer friendly mode, I guess they would call it. The accessibility features, they kind of been leaning a lot into that this generation. So I would be surprised if they didn't have that in Wolverine.
Yeah, personally, I'm here for it because, like I said, my kids love Spider-Man. If they see Daddy playing this, they're gonna see the Insomniac logo and go, Spider-Man. I'm gonna go, no, Wolverine, and they're gonna see like the blood and all that, and I'm gonna turn that shit off, and I'm gonna hand them a controller and go, knock yourself out, have fun.
Exactly.
I don't mind you stabbing somebody in the chest. I just don't want you to see their organs splattering out over everywhere. That's like, we all have standards here. Like that's.
Exactly.
But no, okay. So those were kind of the highlights that I saw. And so, Enate, what do you think about this? Are you apprehensive? Here's the deal. I'm not even apprehensive. I don't believe that they're going to be uninspired for Wolverine, and I don't think they're going to be uninspired by whatever comes next, whether it's a Venom game, or it better fucking be a Venom game, whether it's a Venom game or something else. But I'm talking about, like what Morghan pointed out, this dude is saying, listen, for years to come, Insomniac and Marvel, just smash them together, they're there. And so, like, 3 games down the road, I just don't want uninspired slop. I just don't want, hey, this is what we're doing to fulfill a contract, because we've seen games like that, right? Like, Redfall was a game that was uninspired slop because they were fulfilling a contract that they had, and because their bosses said, hey, you have to build this game this way. They said, we don't want to. The bosses said, we don't care. So, like, that's my greatest worry, is that eventually it just becomes, okay, we're here, we're doing another Marvel game, superheroes are going to struggle, then they're going to win, and okay, let's do this one more time. How many more games do we got? Does that make sense? Like, I don't necessarily think the ship is, like, dying. I just see the possibility.
No, I I mean, I get the concern, but a lot like Morgan said, I think that team understands what they're doing, and like you said, as long as the passion is there and that is what the team wants to do, then I'm confident in the developers having an idea of doing something great and giving us continuing to give us great games, as long as that's what they want to do. So yeah, if the next game is the Hulk and it's also a Storm game, which has never been done before, or
Oh man,
X,
get me
doing something
excited.
crazy. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's all this cool stuff. Like, honestly, like I wouldn't even be mad at them being that studio because they could tell different stories that we've never even seen before, right? Um, like my neighbor is a big comic book fan, and he has shown me stuff about the X-Men and like uh the Hulk and stuff with Storm basically becoming and she's an Omega level mutant and capable of stuff like you've never seen before. Like Jean Grey was not the only super powerful mutant that was on the X-Men, and all this other crazy stuff
Oh
that
no,
she
Storm
does.
is cracked. Like she's
Yeah, yeah.
she's busted. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
like apparently, like she's crazy, and then like she's like obviously we know she was a queen, from the even in X-Men, but like they never really explore that a lot,
Mm-mm.
and like the one that he was showing me in this universe, she's basically like the active queen, and like becomes like a de facto leader of mutants, and this is like a whole nother world, and the way they have the different universes separated in Marvel, like there's so much story and so much richness out here for them to tell, and different mutants for them to engage with and tell stories like we've never seen before, that I'm still fine if they want to keep going that route, to be honest, just because I think that there's so much there, right? I think the danger would be if it was just Spider-Man or it was just Wolverine, then yeah, like, okay, that's weird. But yeah, if they're going to give them free reign and they just get to, because they're good at what they do, and they're like, hey, we really want to make this, Storm slash Nightcrawler game, and we got this whole idea, and it's going to do something crazy, like I could just see them doing a lot with the Marvel IPs, having them, fully at their disposal. So yeah, I think they could do something crazy. So yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, I want to. I hope they go far with a lot of these stories and the exploration, and really exploring some of the alternatives that even the cartoons haven't even done, right? Or the movies, right? Like World Breaker Hulk or something, being able to get to the levels where Hulk like doesn't die in space and just crazy stuff happens. Like he gets insane. Like I could just see, again, like I said, so many cool stories coming from some of these, and them getting a chance to create their own universe within the Marvel franchise, utilizing a lot of that really rich lore and all those different universes, and just kind of creating a mashup however they want, and giving us really cool powers and really crazy ways to explore the Marvel universes. So yeah, I think they could do something crazy.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, no.
so Hero, or I'm sorry, Morgan, you had said something that I meant to key in on because I don't know if the rest of the chat heard it. I want to make sure I heard you correctly. Did you say that Insomniac has done superhero games better than Arkham? I believe your words were it beat out Arkham.
No, I said it sold better. is
It
what I
sold
was
better.
saying. I didn't
Okay,
say it
okay.
was-
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
because that's like making me choose between my oldest and my youngest child.
Yeah,
like,
I love the Arkham games. Like, I can't pit Insomniac versus Arkham. I was just purely the sales.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was like, because
Yeah.
I still play Spider-Man and I still play Arkham. Like,
Yeah, I still play all the Arkhams. Like, I love
they're
Arkham.
so
Okay,
fucking good. They're
good.
so good,
which makes me so mad at the state of WB right now.
right? Like, yeah, it's just how do you have a franchise like Hogwarts that sells 25 million copies and you're still
Speaking of the live
sucking.
service.
Like, you ain't got no money, and you ain't got no money. Like, it's like when when Ubisoft says they're out of money, and you see Assassin's Creed selling like hotcakes, you're like, wait a second, y'all just made a shit ton of money on y'all's collectors and deluxe and smack your ass editions, and you just did all your microtransactions that people purchased to get the experience points progressions and to get Altair's sword from the first. Like, you done did all that, and now how are you broke? How that somebody needs to do an internal study over how the hell they're. Falky, if you're listening to this now or afterwards, I need you to do an internal study on where the hell the money went, because it does, like, the math is not mathing. If you make a game and the game sells a shit ton, you should have money left over, at least a small portion. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. That's not the topic for this week. OMD, you think mad about Marvel? I'm far more mad about DC. Yeah, dude, DC got fucking wrecked. The movies, the only thing that's good with DC, and that's because I think they don't let the corporate guys touch it much, are the comics and the animations, or the cartoons. Like, the cartoon movies, anybody will put the animated movies. Sorry, I shall not call them cartoon movies. The animated movies are absolutely wonderful. Oh, and their TV series for a while were awesome. They weren't peak. They weren't just the most perfect things ever. It was very, very bad acting in some of them. But, I mean, like,
Absolute Batman is fantastic. I don't know if you've read the comic, but it's fantastic.
I am actually reading through oh crud, it's in my bottom drawer in my bedroom. It's The Long Halloween.
Okay.
Because I was explaining to a buddy of mine why I love Arkham Knight and all that, and I was like, I know it's from a certain story. He goes, well, he's like, it's kind of two stories mashed into one. And so you're gonna want to read either the long, I think it's The Long Halloween. It all takes place in one night. It's where Red Hood comes back and all that other stuff, and so you get some of that. You get the Court of Owls in it, and all of that stuff. And then there's another one that kind of goes with it, and I think that's the right one. I might be wrong. Long Halloween. Yeah, it is called Long Halloween. Okay, but there's another one that has kind of the same Arkham Knight in it, and Jason. Well, yeah, anybody who hasn't played it, goddamn, the game's 37 years old. It has Jason Todd in it. It has as the Red Hood and all this. Like, it's really it kind of borrows from both of them in Arkham Knight. Anyways, sidetracked. Sorry guys, I know y'all complained about it last week, but when we have guests on here that are gamers, we will be talking about games. Like, it's just
state of WB has me so worried, especially with their selling right now. So we don't really know what's going to happen. Like, who's going to buy them is going to affect what's going to happen with DC, right? Because apparently Netflix is now in the bid to buy WB properties, right? So that means a lot of the movies would be on Netflix, which kind of irks me, because I'm like, okay, that one means they probably, I don't know if they'll release in the movie theaters, and two, that means they won't have physical DVD or Blu-ray releases, which is terrible. So I'm like, and then we don't know what's gonna happen with the games. Like, they could just be like, nah, shut down WB entirely, like, as far as like the games, like, you know, division. So there's just so much to go into what's happening with WB. Like, it's got me a little scared, to be honest, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Under the Red Hood, by the way, is the name of the other storyline that they borrowed from.
Yeah.
Which, sorry, that was going to bug the shit out of me. Thankfully, Josh hooked me up with the answer before I could Google it. So I'm excited about this. It sounds like everybody else is with the Marvel stuff. It's going to be great. They know what to do. They know how they're doing it. And one of the really cool things that Enate hit on, and I'm going to echo it here, is that Marvel trusts them to tell their own story. Marvel doesn't usually trust people to tell their own stories with their IPs. Like, Good example, when studios are making Marvel movies and Marvel films, they have to kind of like ask a few certain things, like, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? Is that okay? Like, so a good example, and not so much, I'm sorry, not so much in movies, because they would be asking themselves because they own the IPs, but in any other area. So Magic the Gathering just released Marvel's Secret Lairs like last year, which is a set of cards. It had Storm, it had Wolverine, Black Panther, stuff like that, all of them throughout the comics. And in that process, Wizards, when they do their art for it, they have to send that art off to I make it sound like it's like not done by email, but like they have to send that art off to Marvel. Marvel then has to approve, deny, or edit the art, send it back and say, hey, your artist needs to change this, this, and this, and then we're good. Like, they don't just let anybody touch their IPs. And when they usually let somebody touch their IPs, they keep their finger on it. It's part of the, when you hear people and how they deal with Disney, it's very much part of like, hey, no, that's our IP, and it's going to be presented in the light that we want. Well, in the first Spider-Man game, they actually talk about it in one of the interviews that they did, where it was like, hey, yeah, we had to collaborate with them pretty heavily, and then on Miles, they were like, they gave us more freedom and more control to do what we wanted, because they trust them. Like, and in a world where we get shitty Star Wars stuff, in a world where we get shitty Marvel movies, they actually trust somebody with their IP? Yeah, this guy coming out and gushing over this, I don't think it's all just corpo speak. Like, I think he really is genuinely excited that at least one branch of Marvel is doing very well, because the rest of them aren't. And so it's pretty cool. I can understand why they're excited. Like Morghan said, they saw how much it sold and were like, you know what, we're good. This is amazing. Let's go. Okay, so more video game talking again. I wanted people to talk about apple pie making. I'm so sorry, Rachie. I know that's what y'all over on the Xbox side have to look forward to, but we get games over here. It's that was a low blow. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I really did. But okay, so Morghan, I saved this topic for last. I think you will be the one to weigh in on it the most because of your connection to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I know you really, really loved that game. You poured a lot of time into it. You couldn't stop talking about how good that game was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the boss, the head of that, Daniel Vavra, I think I'm saying that name terribly wrong at the end. But the director of Kingdom Come Deliverance and fellow 2025 RPG Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 clearly leans towards unfavorability. This is discussing Outer Worlds 2. Vavra shared his assessment of the Outer Worlds 2 in a recent Twitter post where he said, finished 7 out of 10. He says about the Outer Worlds 2. But what I find sad is that, and this is in quotes now, what I find sad is that the company and the people who gave us one of my favorite games ever, Fallout and New Vegas, have been unable, even after 15 years, with all of Microsoft's money and latest technological advancements, to come up with a single new game mechanic that could take this proven but ancient formula somewhere new. Dang. Can any of you, and he's, apparently there was some pushback. I didn't read this part. He says, can any of you think of a single new game mechanic in the Outer Worlds that wasn't already in Deus Ex or the original Fallout games from more than 25 years ago? Unfortunately, I can't. Like, that's a dude that got super high press. Corey goes, damn, he not wrong though. Like, sorry, that just got me. So, first of all, let me ask, have either of y'all played Outer Worlds 2? Because I ain't got time. There's no chance in hell I have time for that.
I think Nate has.
I have barely started it.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I played Outer Worlds 1, and I've played all the other games that he mentioned, so I get what he's saying.
Do you think he's throwing shade to throw shade?
I mean, no, but at the same time, it's like, I guess my better question for him, right? Because when people do this, right, and he's a developer, so he could definitely speak on it. Is what do you think should have been there that you would have even wanted? Because sometimes the formula is so dialed in that you don't want to just change it arbitrarily, right? For instance, right? Like the thing that's for me that's like this right now is MMOs. Like that's why I quit them for so many years now, right? Like look at the two most popular MMOs on the market, right? Which is World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 14. Both of them games is old as hell. Like because MMOs have not evolved in the past decade. Like no one has really done anything new. The genre hasn't really evolved, right? But I do think like I get what he's saying, but I do think you got to be careful with this particular formula or this particular game, just because it is meant to basically be their version of Fallout in space. That's honestly what it was created to be, and I mean I think it does a good job at that. And then talking to a couple people that have started it, and they're absolutely floored with the game. So to me, everything doesn't need a new mechanic, right? Like I get what he's saying, and I definitely understand his perspective because Morghan actually doesn't like the Elder Scrolls or Fallout games, but she loved, she loved his game, right? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is ironic because I'm the exact opposite. I love all those games.
Wild.
Yeah, I love all those games, but I don't like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
See, that's wild.
Like
to
I
me
don't
too.
hate.
Man, you haven't tried it though.
I have tried it.
Oh,
I did try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Well, he just
downloaded
hated
it
it,
on
so
PC.
it's okay.
I downloaded it on PC, but there's certain aspects like the whole sim thing and like being ultra realistic. Like I hate that. Like I don't care for that. So it's
Gotcha.
like there's certain things like that they've added to like Fallout, right? Fallout has added things where you got to worry about your food and you got to worry about this, that, and the third, and the survival mechanic, and it gets more realistic. So, like again, they've added a ton of mechanics to the games, but I prefer the way that they do them in those games because they're optional, right? Like I don't have to play that way. But in Kingdom Come, I don't have a choice because that is how the game is made. Now, I don't dislike that. That's their choice to make that a core mechanic of the game, right? Like some of the stuff that Morghan told me she experienced when she played that game, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I was like, but would I sit there but certain things that she said that she found exciting, I would just find annoying. like she was like, oh my god, this thing happened, and I was walking through town, and I got shit on. Because somebody threw shit out the window, and then this happened,
Yeah, man.
and then
They literally threw a shit bucket at me, and so I had to
Yeah.
walk around town smelling like shit, and the NPCs would comment on it, right? And the thing is, it's like I needed obviously new clothes because in order to go into the market and buy from merchants, they refused to sell to me because I smelled like shit. They were like, "Get the fuck out of my shop. You stink and you're scaring away my customers." But I'm like, yo, I need a new, I need a new shirt, sir. My stuff's covered in shit. And they're like, no, get the fuck out. And then if I didn't leave, they would call like the town guards and get me thrown in the stocks. Like that's this shit I like. It was very interactive.
So it was a shit show.
Yeah, it was a literal shit show. They would react to whatever I did, right? If I was on a mass murdering spree, the whole town, it's not like, after you finish killing people and you kind of leave the town and come back, people in most open world games, people just forget, right? Like, or they just have no reaction to what you did 10 minutes ago. It's like a complete memory wipe. Nobody remembers. You're good, right? GTA style. But in this game, like you massacre a bunch of people in town, you come back anytime in the game. Doesn't matter if it's an hour later or 70 hours later and you're towards the end of the game. They remember you and they're like, oh, you're that crazy motherfucker that came here and tried to kill try to massacre the town, bro. I remember you. I'm not selling shit to you. You're just like, bro, that was days ago. I don't even remember that. Like, nah, we remember that. We remember. You killed my cousin, damn it. I remember this. and they'll sell, like they might sell to you, but they'll sell to you at higher prices because they don't like you, and they refuse to, like, because there's a barter system where you can barter to kind of lower the price of things, and if they don't like you, they won't either won't let you barter, or they'll let you barter, but you can't drop it down to as low as you could have because they don't fucking like you. And you could even get to the point where your ass could get branded in the game, like a literal hot iron brand on your neck that you have to walk around with.
Damn.
That kind of tells people that you're a thief or that you're a murderer, and then they won't deal with you when they see the brand. They're like, oh, look, this motherfucker brand. Oh, hell no, get the hell out. Like, it's that kind of aspect of this game that I love. Like, the world is alive and it reacts to what you do, and there's no kind of memory wipe where people, you do something crazy atrocious and then 5 minutes later everybody forgets. Like, no, everything you do, people are gonna remember it. Okay, reputation matters, and that's what I really like about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. But I think that's kind of what he's talking about. Like, a lot of RPGs are just kind of like, and I mean, that's their design, that's how they're designed, but for me, it's just, I just don't like how a lot of RPGs are designed, because they're designed like people are stupid. NPCs are stupid. You could do something and people will immediately forget, and it just makes it feel like the world isn't really reactive to you, and you could just do whatever, and there's no consequences. And maybe that's what he means. Like, it's just kind of feels uninspired. Like, the world just doesn't feel as alive, and you could just, there's not really many choice and consequences that come from your decisions. But again, that could all just be part of their game design. But I prefer Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, his game design. So I get it. If I made a boss ass game like that, I'd be shitting on other RPGs too. Like, his game is like, it's between that and Expedition 33 that have been my game of the year. Like, those two have been battling it out in my mind. That's how good I love that game. And they're about to drop another DLC that I'm about to pick up and play. It's just, it like, if you have not played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and you like that kind of medieval setting, it is so fucking good. Like, I swear, like, I just love that fucking game. So I get it. If I see, people would hate me if I was the game director, because if I made a game that good, I'd be talking shit about everybody. So, he's good. He's been quiet about most games, and I think he's just a fan of Obsidian. I think that's why he posted that, because like you said, he liked Fallout New Vegas. And that's the crazy thing too, because the games that he pointed out that he was a fan of that Obsidian made back in the day, Fallout New Vegas, that was really the only Fallout game that I liked, was Fallout New Vegas. And that's kind of what I missed from Obsidian, because Fallout New Vegas was I think one of the best Fallout games. Like, it just felt, the world just felt lived in, and it just doesn't seem like Obsidian is kind of making those games anymore. It just seems like they're kind of making generic RPGs, which is not bad. It's just okay. They're not doing anything new. It's just kind of like with Avowed. It was just okay, cookie cutter RPG. Here, it's here.
Slop to hit target release goals.
I mean, I don't want to shit on Obsidian, because they've been pumping out games and they've been doing their thing. But
sure.
I just don't feel like they're really moving the needle when it comes to Western RPGs. Like how I feel. Like, I feel like, when it comes to Western RPGs, like it's Warhorse Studios, which are the people who make Kingdom Come Deliverance, and it's CD Projekt Red. Like, those are the studios that I look at when it comes to makings of great Western RPGs. I don't really fuck with Bethesda. Like, no offense to Bethesda fans, I just think Bethesda, they just been sitting on their laurels of how they've been making RPGs since the beginning of them making RPGs. I feel like they haven't really changed their formula much, and they haven't updated how they make their games that much. And it's like, if I didn't like it back then, I'm not gonna like it now. I mean, maybe if they start, doing some fresh ideas, fresh gameplay, fresh stories, like maybe then. But okay, that I didn't mean for this to be an anti-Bethesda or Obsidian rant, but I just think that's kind of where he's headed towards. Like, he's just like, they're just kind of stuck in their ways, and they really haven't done anything new in the genre scene. So I get what he's saying, but a 7 out of 10 in a lot of people's minds is bad, but a 7 is actually a good score. It's just this industry and, this circle. It's like, if a game isn't like an 8, anything lower than an 8 is deemed as bad. But a 7 out of 10 is good. That's I enjoyed my time with it. It wasn't the greatest thing,
sure,
but it was good, right? So he wasn't saying it was terrible.
And that's true, because I have to get down to like sub 6 before I'm like, yeah, I don't
Exactly.
touch it. Like, just
Yeah.
don't.
Don't recommend. Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
with Lost Soul aside, which I was pretty low on, I think I finally settled. Even changing my review score a bit, because I think I gave it a 6.5. That game was like a 5.7, because I don't recommend anybody buy it right now unless they fixed a lot of stuff and I just don't know it. Like, it was bad. It was
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, the combat was phenomenal. The combat gives it 5. That's like the combat makes it a baseline 5 no matter what, because the combat was great. God, everything else about that game was just
To his point. To his point, though, I just think you got to be careful what you're doing. Like, their game was completely new, and it was a completely new IP, right? You had Kingdom Come 1, and then you had Deliverance 2, right? They could kind of do what they wanted, and then what, with 1, and then they expanded on that with 2, right? Their game has a specific style or flow or thing to it, right? But a lot of again, like I said, you got to be careful, because if they added a bunch of shit that was in his game to Bethesda's games, I'd be annoyed. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So you don't want to alienate your fan base to mimic something else somebody did. You don't want to just add mechanics that are unnecessary or make the game unfun. Adding the ability or concern to eat or need to eat in Expedition 33 would add nothing to it for me. So again, adding a bunch of mechanics to stuff doesn't, without purpose, doesn't do anything either. So I think, again, you have to design your game for whatever your purpose is. And like I said, for his game, all that super hyper realism stuff, people who gravitated towards that, playing that sim, being that weak character, and all these other things, like certain things that would happen that Morgan would tell me, again, like, it was funny to me because she was telling it to me, but in the game that would frustrate me. Like, I would have downloaded a cheat engine and made him have Hulk strength and slaughtered everybody, because that would have been fun to me. But
Oh man, nah. That's the fun about being in the game, because you're just like a regular dude. Like, you're not overpowered. You're not this space pirate or this OP superhero. You're like literally a regular guy who just got greatness kind of thrust upon him, and that's kind of how you build your character up like that. But and it's the funny thing, you saying you would mod it and put a whole bunch of stuff on it. The crazy thing is, after you beat the game, there's the mode where you can put a bunch of negative traits on yourself. So like you like, it's called like the epic fail mode or something like that, where you literally have nothing but negative traits associated with your character, like bad back. You only walk anywhere. You like, there's a perk where you can't use the map. You just have to ask NPCs how to get to places. So you literally walk up to them and be like, how do you get to the town of Kitzenberg? And they're like, oh, it is west from here, 3 clicks. And you just have to figure it out. Like, I was just like, when he said that, when they added that mode, I was like, oh, hell no. Like, I kind of want to do it low key just to see how long I could go without, raging. But yeah, it's like they're trying to get ultra realistic, like no kind of help with the map, no kind of extra potions or anything like that. Like, you just kind of gotta live it out, just figure it out yourself, as if you were someone back in the 1300s, just doing your thing. Like, yeah, it's kind of the game kind of gets kind of that realistic with it. And I appreciate that, and I get what the Enate saying. Like, not every game needs that, and not every gamer wants that, right? Not every gamer wants that, sim-like experience. But I just think that when it comes to like Bethesda or Obsidian RPGs, I just feel like they've just kind of stuck to what they always do, and I just don't feel like they've done anything new in the 15-20 years that they've been around. And it's not like you have to add sim features to be new. I just don't think they've really like again, like, it's like, look at CD Projekt Red, right? Like, they don't have the kind of sim thing where you need to eat and shit like that and things like that, but their Western RPGs are just fucking fantastic, just well written gameplay, visuals, action. It's just off the rip. Just the writing is fantastic in that game, and I feel like that's kind of a weak point in a lot of Bethesda games. Like, the writing is just like so. Like, you never hear anybody ever really talk about the writing in Fallout or Skyrim or whatever. It's just always, yeah, man, that world building, man. I just love walking around in a wasteland. I'm like, okay. Like that's kind of what it is with Bethesda and Obsidian. It's just like, it's just about the world that you're in, right? Which is fine, but again, I just think he wants them to just kind of take that next step, especially now that he said one point that he made was like, you got Microsoft backing you now, so you got like, you know, Microsoft money, so you don't have to worry, because a big thing that Bethesda and all of them were worried about before they got, you know, acquired was they were lacking funds, right? But now they have the big dog of Microsoft behind them, so I think he was just kind of hoping that they take those funds and they do something, they build upon what, you know, people like about their games and just kind of take the next step. But it just seems like they're kind of just doing the same thing they always do. But I mean, I guess if people like it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to wait until
maybe
honestly,
when that new engine comes out that
no,
Todd keeps talking about.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so the Elder Scrolls 6 is being developed on the new engine. That's
Yeah.
what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Like, I think you're just gonna have to wait for that, especially specifically when it comes to Bethesda, because part of a lot of the really cool things that their games do that nobody else does are because of that engine.
Yeah.
Because of that engine, but the modding community is part of it too, though.
Yeah.
Like we laugh at because the modding community does a lot, but they do a lot.
Modding community be holding up fucking. Let's be real. If the mods did not exist for Bethesda, I swear they would have got closed down a long time ago. The modding community holds these games up. Like they be holding these games with band-aids and staples, trying to keep these games together, and they add all the things that fans actually want. Right? They be like, Todd, can I get this in the game? Can I get a rover? Can I get? And Todd's just like, I mean, I think the game that we made is just exactly how the vision that we wanted to do. So we believe that you walking around for 6 hours straight is the kind of experience that we think that you should have. And so then here comes Miles like, fuck that. We're gonna make this car for you guys with jetpacks and shit. People are like, yeah, thank you. And I'm just like, see, it's like, and then they add the little mod store so that you can buy mods. Again, they're fully aware that it's the mod
was
that
a creative
keep these games
decision.
relevant. It was a creative decision.
God,
It's like then we had a meeting and we realized the creative decision should be 60 FPS. Thanks, guys.
with a rover, you're welcome.
With a rover. Here's this rover update. Woo! What you been waiting for?
God.
See, basically, I'm with Grip. I don't have a problem with their formula in the time frame that we've gotten it. But yes, if Elder Scrolls 6 is just Skyrim with better graphics, then we have a problem, and that is.
Right, you know that's what it's gonna be. You know that's exactly what it's gonna be.
I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Listen, Todd is a man of particular tastes. Okay, he has a thing that he likes, and he just sticks to that. You know, he's at that age where he don't really like change. You know, he just likes what he likes.
Because I used to not like the Elder.
I know you like God, Howard.
No, hold on. I didn't like Elder Scrolls before Skyrim. I thought it was the ugliest game on the planet, and I didn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. So I'm not like these people who were like Morrowind and Oblivion super fans. I only ever liked Skyrim out of all the Elder Scrolls because the other games were just too ugly to touch.
Have you ever actually beat Skyrim?
Yes, I beat Skyrim. Unlike most of those people.
You were one of the 5 people who beat Skyrim. I'm proud of you. Because most people who play Skyrim don't actually beat it. They just kind of just live in that world forever.
That is another problem. We had that discussion in a group chat the other day. Yeah, I know. It's a thing. But what I was saying about,
because Bethesda's writing is lacking and nobody really cares about the story. They don't care about the story or the characters. They just want to live in the world that they make, and that's fine.
There's a story to Skyrim?
Exactly. See, that's my point. That is my point. There is a story, but nobody knows it. You know why? Because nobody cares. Because it's lackluster. Okay. And it's like Bethesda's writing department needs a significant improvement. If they want somebody like me, now they might not care about me, which they probably don't. But if they want more gamers like me, I'm gonna need them to pick up on the writing because the writing has been subpar, to say the least. And bad writing is something that, for me, I just can't stand in a game. Like that will make me just turn a game off immediately. I don't care about if your gameplay is peak or that. Like if I can't get into the story or care about this character and whatever quest they're on, I'm immediately just gonna turn it off. I'm like, who is this? Why am I doing this? Who are you? You know?
Wait, hold on, Corey. So I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. I said that that's an issue, but I said I don't have a problem based on what's been released.
Oh man, get him chat, get him chat.
They released Starfield, which I gave a 7 out of 10, which is a completely new IP, and then they released Fallout 76, which
Skyrim
I
in space.
I was about to say it's not a new IP. It was Skyrim in space. It's not.
Yeah, so
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like Elder Scrolls 6, man. He it's just gonna be one of the older IPs, but in the Elder Scrolls universe. It's just gonna be Skyrim.
So
but
Morgan
prettier.
is a Bethesda hater, so she's
Listen,
gonna go in 110%.
I'm not a Bethesda hater out of just pure spite. Like, I'm open to every game, but Bethesda has consistently just been releasing games that have just been boring. Like, I tried Starfield like twice. I tried to start it twice, and every time, like, what is
Starfield for you?
I was like,
not like Fallout, because
I'm like, okay, here we are in this mine. Okay, I'm this space pirate or whatever the fuck. I'm this miner. I'm like, oh, you found the star. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Oh, you have to go off to the space now. I'm like, okay. So I get out the mine. I'm walking towards the spaceship. Oh no, we're attacked by pirates. It was like the least emotional fight I've ever been in. And like, beep, beep. I was just like, okay. So okay, I'm shooting these pirates now. All right. And it's like they had no emotion on their face. They're just shooting me like, I'm like, yo, what kind of 2003 ass shit is this? And so I'm like, all right. So I finished the fight. I'm like, okay, so what happens now? So this robot comes out, come with me, come get on the ship. And I'm like, for what? We have to figure out what this star means. I'm like, what is happening? I don't understand what's going on. So I get on the ship and I go over to this committee, and there's these people talking to me. I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to turn this off. I was like, bro, I don't understand what am I doing here? What is the point of this? And it's just like, if you can't, I just need you to capture me. Like, in the first hour of Cyberpunk 2077, I understood what my mission was. I'm a street kid. I'm out here. Okay, I'm getting this chip. It's crazy action going on. I'm in Arasaka. I'm in the top building. They're trying to shoot me down. It's just, it's just crazy action going on. My best friend dies in front of me. I'm like, oh fuck, what the fuck is that? It's an emotional roller coaster. But then with Starfield, it's just like I'm watching like a fucking like a Tubi movie, and I'm like, what is the plot? What is happening? I don't care about any of this. Who is this character? It's just, I can't really get into it. It just seems like they don't really care to write a good story. And it's just like, if it's just like I don't know, it it just bothers me, because it's just like, it just feels like you're just spitting on my intelligence with the lackluster ass story that you're just trying to shove down my throat, and it just makes me mad. So I gave it a try because I want to be fair. I'm like, this is a new IP, fresh start. They're under Xbox now. It might be different, but no, it was just Microsoft money with Bethesda still being Bethesda. So it is. So
I said what I needed to say in chat, and then I gotta go.
Okay.
Morgan kept cutting me off on that one, so
oh shit! Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. Oh, damn.
No, I mean, no, I'm not trying to be weird about it. I'm saying I literally have to go, because when you were going, like, I have to go to the coffee shop, and them niggas close in like 3 minutes, so I literally gotta go.
Okay, see you later, Nate.
That's what I was trying to get in that last point about the engines. But you were going, and I didn't want to stop you, so yeah, I gotta go.
Oh, I apologize. My bad.
You're fine. All right, later, y'all. It was fun.
Bye.
Nate, thanks again. His links are in the description. Autoplayer Podcast. We actually have 50% of the podcast on the show tonight. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Thanks again for stopping in, Nate. I said Nate. Enate. Lord help me. I can't talk tonight. I don't know why. So yeah. It's fine that he left anyways, because I was actually about to wrap the show up. We have been here for 3 hours. I was hoping to get done in 2 tonight. That did not happen because we spent an hour and a half talking about video games. No, don't be sorry. Listen, the Ghost of Yote conversation almost just took over tonight, and I didn't care who stayed or left. Like, it was just, I almost just like said, all right, guys, here. Change the thumbnail real quick. It's just, we're doing it now, because because once I get going on games that I'm just in love with, like, no, I'm done. I'm completely done. Because gaming is what this is all about. The news and the articles and the stories and kind of the storylines and what's going on, all of that's secondary. All of that is secondary to great games. It's secondary to playing these games with other people. It's secondary to sharing our experiences together as gamers with real lives. Like, where are you going to use your Portal? Where are you going to use your Steam Deck? Why do you even have portable devices if you just play them like, we get to look into each other's lives as gamers, and we get to share those experiences with one another, and that's what gaming is all about. That's why
Amen.
Lately I've been trying to get into a couple more multiplayer titles just to have them in the back burner. Like, just people want to play together? Cool, let's hop in. We can grab a game together. We can do something. We don't got to be sweaty about it. Let's just hang out, have fun. Join the Discord if you want to. We got people in there all the time who are playing Arc Raiders, who are playing Battlefield 6. Josh would love somebody to play some Final Fantasy 14 with him. Like, we have the people who would love to play games, and that's what it's all about. That's why when I have folks like Enate or Morghan or Will, folks that I know play a crap ton of games, I love hearing their opinion on them. Because if you don't think that I didn't write down Dispatch again, I'm that game's going to end up getting me. I thought it was just a story title. And now they're telling me, no, there's this whole mechanic. Because when I tell y'all, I don't watch reviews from people who I don't really give a shit about, or I don't know personally. Like, I don't anymore. It skews it too much. They're either getting it for free, or they got the code somehow, or they were invited out originally, and like, it's annoying and I don't like it. And so I get opinions from people who I know play games. And if Morghan says, no, it has more video game mechanics than a Man of Medan or a Heavy Rain, I'm like, oh, cool, I'm in it. That sounds fun. And so, anyways, guys, we are here about the games. There are other channels that can do all the console stuff and have a fun time with it and all of that. I get like 3 hours a week to discuss the gaming industry with other people. That's not just like, oh, I'm responding to something in Discord, and then 2 hours later I may respond to something again in Discord. But like, this is the time that we get to sit and hang out, talk about the industry. It's almost the same as when you go to a sports bar on a night when sports aren't playing, and you and your buddies just sit around and you talk about how the Cowboys did, which they got their ass kicked this last week. God, it was so disgusting. Anyways, but like, it's that's what this show is for all of us to come, hang out, spend a couple hours together, and just talk about the gaming industry and have a fucking great time. And I hope y'all did tonight. I really do. We got a new subscriber. If you came in during the video, come in and say hi in the chat. Leave a comment afterwards. Morghan, with all of that being said, though, and Inate's back. With all of that being said,
I'm on my mobile setup.
Oh, okay. Where can folks find you, Morghan?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Chill Bandit, and you can also find me on PSN, doing nothing but catching up, playing games, because November, thank God, is light for me. I don't think there's really a new game for me in November, so it's a time for me to catch up on the backlog. So I'll be like living on PSN, and my PSN is Chill Bandit or Chill Bandit 336. So yeah, y'all can find me there. I probably won't respond to you, but just know that if you message me, I will be responding in my mind, and in my heart, I appreciate it. But
I feel like that was to me directly. Like,
no. No, because they messaged me. It was like, "Hey, Thrifty messaged you." I was like, "He did?" I'm checking on my Twitter. I'm like, "No, he didn't." I'm like, "I would have seen it." He's like, "I'm like, oh, he messaged me on Discord. Oh shit, I didn't even see that." Nah, but yeah, you messaged me on PSN. I would have saw it.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that's the way that, like, if you want to get a hold of me, message me on the PSN app, because my phone, I keep those notifications turned on all the time.
Same.
Because my wish list is on there, and if a game comes on sale, I just I hit
so
that
many
real
wish
quick.
lists on sale right now with this new PlayStation sale. I got like 7 games on my wish list on sale right now.
Oh, there's a new sale that dropped today, and I'm
Fantastic.
excited. Well, technically it'll fully drop tomorrow. Like with some places don't have the graphic right now, some do, because it's in that transition. The old one ends today, and the new one starts, quote unquote, today. And so that's when you get the notification, and you go in and you look, and you're like, wait, that's not part of Planet of the Discounts. What's this sale a part of? And you're like, oh, it's not out yet. Got it. They've changed the price already, but didn't put the banner up. Okay, cool.
Exactly.
But oh my gosh, it's so good. Enate, since you kind of left real quick, now tell the folks where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at @TheRealInnate, or on Blue Sky, same handle, or on PSN at Innate Gaming. You can also find me typically at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the Otter Players Podcast.
Yeah. And that 5 p.m. is it means 4:45.
It's a suggestion.
Or 5:15.
Yeah, it's a suggestion.
It's just a suggestion. Just know if we say 5 p.m., that means we'll show up at like 6 maybe. So just stick around. Like we're coming. It just give us some time, okay?
Or they'll
6
show
p.m.
up early.
EST Saturday, you know.
They take the BRAP approach.
Or early.
Whenever they want to open it up, they open it up. That's how that works. But no, guys, they have a really good show over there. They have. The show is getting better too. I was agreeing with Omar on stuff this last week. It was.
Oh man.
It had me straight
Twilight
up
Zone.
Perplexed. I was like, I don't know how to feel about myself right now. I don't know what's going on here.
Makes you question everything. Like, wait a minute, huh?
Anyways, guys, y'all can also find me on the PSN. I gotta start putting our gamer tags in here if the guests are okay with that. You gotta find me on PSN. It is Thrifty PS_GR, because I don't want to pay the $10 it is to change my fucking name on there again. Because they can kiss my ass. And so that's still my old gamer tag. And yeah, that's it. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me, or it's not called Twitter. You can find me on X. I don't know. Shit. Find me everywhere. All my links are in the descriptions of some videos. You can join the Discord via the link in the description below. Their links to the Autoplayer podcast and their X handles are both in there. And I will probably be adding their PSNs. If y'all have any questions about games, especially in the visual novel area, Morghan is great on those. I hadn't missed yet. Like, there's not a single recommendation that I've gotten from her that I haven't just enjoyed. Same with Innate. Like, and the cool thing is when you start talking to these people more, when you start talking to other gamers more, actually about video games, then you start to get a feel for what like the other one's gonna like, right? I was talking to one of the guys in the Discord. I had private messaged him, and I said, hey, you've known me now for almost 3 years. You know my playstyles. You know I've dipped my toe into multiplayer titles. Do you think I'd like Arc Raiders? And he was like, I think you'd fucking love it. I said, cool, that's enough for me. And I went out and I bought it. Because I trust the opinions of these other people a lot when it comes to video games. And so, guys, they're great. They're amazing. Go check out their channel. Go give them a subscribe. And with all of that, we will see y'all next week. We're out.